to go 5 points up. Couldn't ask for more than that on maybe doing it in the firsts for Dean Chester, but it won't matter either way, mate. I'm sure he'll be having a big day, no doubt.
I speak of the Redan reunion, premiership reunion behind us today. Starts off at 2 o'clock. They've got a great spread put on by Narelle in there that I've had a look at. Got some photos. I'll put them up on the page later. The 2011 Senior Redan Premiership, the 2011 Under-18s Premiership, and in netball on the same day they won the A grade, C grade and Under-18s. I am told in the senior game that day, the last quarter went for 36 minutes with Sunbury kicking with a strong wind and Redan held on. They're going to have a fabulous afternoon on that reunion. Other games today, wow, what a round 9 setup we have. Lake Windaree take on Darley out at C.E. Brown Reserve. Melton are at home to Ballarat at McPherson Park. Bacchus Marsh take on Sebastopol at Madingley Park. Melton South take on North Ballarat out at Melton Recreation Reserve. And we're here for the big one, City Oval, with the 7th place Redan taking on the 8th place Sunbury. Just going through the week, Kyle, on this game today. Right now, there is only 1.5% difference between these two. They're both on 12 points. Bacchus Marsh are in 6th. They play Sebastopol. Ballarat are on 16. They're 5th, and they're actually taking on Melton. So you would think if Ballarat and Bacchus Marsh lose, the winner here can go inside the 6th. The loser is out of touch with that top echelon.
Yeah, definitely, Brad. I don't think you need any motivation going into any game so far this year. It'd be pretty easy as a coach trying to get your players up because every match is almost your classic 8-point game. It's just been a fantastic season by all the clubs. It's so evenly spread, which we touch on every week. And as you said, these two sides, I don't think there's more evenly matched sides in the competition than these two. On the way in, Brad, I did a little bit of research last night and this morning, and I make a case for Redan, and then I go and have a look at Sunbury, and I think, I could make a case for Sunbury. And then on the vice versa, I also see how Sunbury could exploit Redan, but then I also see how Redan could exploit Sunbury. I don't think the weather favours anyone. I think the weather will actually affect the way both sides like to play. Redan like to move the ball quickly and be precise going inside 50. Sunbury like to control the play and have the tempo of the game and play on their terms, but the weather today doesn't really suit either style, so it really is going to be a flip of the coin. And as spoken to you off air, I'm going Sunbury purely because you've said you're going to go Redan.
Yeah, and with no confidence for what you just said, either side could win this. I've changed my mind on this game since Thursday 4 or 5 times. Dean Chester is the second leading goal kicker for Redan in the seniors. He played in the reserves today. Their captain, Liam Hoy, isn't playing. He's kicked goals up front. So right now, I look at it, and then I look at Sunbury, and they've got the big Kovacevic not playing. They've got Tom Donahue not playing. They've got Alec Magan not playing. They've got a lot out. Both sides have got a lot out. But at the end of the day, I see Redan's forwards or mids, or their mid-forwards, have kicked 66 goals for the season as opposed to Sunbury 41. I just don't know where Sunbury are going to get the goals from, so I'm actually going for Redan. They have Isaac Grant, that's their leading goal kicker on 13. Lockie George is in there that's kicked 9. So they've got some really good goal kicker forwards. They've got some midfielders in really excellent form. Cooper Craig Peters is one of them that I expect to go very deep in the Henderson medal this year. He has had a great season. He's actually on, and we haven't spoken about this during the year, he's actually on Footscray's VFL list, and it was emergency last week. So, as is Luke Goda for the Sunbury Lions. So, it's a tough one. It's going to be an interesting game. The big matchup that I'm looking forward to today, I think, as I said, Cooper Craig Peters has been absolutely brilliant. And I think you'll see that Mobilio will go to him on a hard tag. He did that against Ballarat a few weeks ago on Jays. And I just think that's going to be the key. If Mobilio can lock down on Craig Peters, I mean, Lockie George will still get you anyway, but if Mobilio can lock down on Cooper Craig Peters, they're going to go a long way to winning the game.
I was just about to say, I actually would go the other way, and I would tag George on a day like today, Brad. I think his big body in the midfield is going to be crucial around stoppages. So I'd be going inclined to put the tag to George. But it is a bit of a, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Do you go George or do you go the hyphenated Cooper Craig Peters?
I go Craig Peters for the one fact is George is going to play a lot of time forward. So you've got to cut the supply off and cut that off in the midfield. And from the games that I've seen of Redan, Craig Peters averages at least 30 possessions a game. He gets the inside ball and the outside ball and sets them up. I think Lockie George does most of his damaging work of late in the front 50 more than the midfield. So I think that is going to be a crucial matchup today, and they've got to get that right. So the other one is up back for the Sunbury Lions, Dylan Featon. Who does he go to? Does he go to Grant Bell, Will Madden? It's going to be interesting as well. You've got Bygate that'll play up back. Tyson Lever just drifts across half back. I expect him to pick up Lockie McLean, but Lockie McLean has to be very careful and make sure that he picks up Tyson Lever when they're on the rebound because he sets them up, doesn't he?
He certainly does. Look, I think from a Redan perspective, I think with Chester playing in the reserves currently, I think Grant Bell is going to be the focal point up forward. Big body, but he's actually plays more of your traditional lead up forward. He's not necessarily a kick it on top of my head and I'll let my body size do the work. He's a bit old school. He likes to lead up at the footy, which is certainly not a bad thing. So, really looking forward to this one, Brad.
Yeah, just the goal kickers too at the moment. On top, Dylan Conway with 28. Dylan Conway from Melton South on 28. Jake Owen from Bacchus Marsh, second on 24. Josh Chatfield on 21 from North Ballarat. I'll talk about him in a minute. Braden Kite from Melton on 16 and Aaron Willits injured as well from Bacchus Marsh on 15. Last week, we called the big top of the table clash between North Ballarat and Melton. Josh Chatfield laid a big bump early in the game. Seemed okay. He played the game out. I'll tell you how tough he is. Got a shocking kidney injury out of that bump and looks like he might not play again this year. Yeah,
we were there live, Brad. Did not pick up on it at all. He played a terrific game. Really unfortunate, though. You definitely don't want to put a line through North Ballarat. They're sitting top of the table. But, losing a player like Chatfield's calibre at this point of the season is probably one player they couldn't afford to lose.
Very lucky, too, that Riley Polkinghorn was reported in a clash earlier in that game that actually was a third quarter incident. He laid a tackle on Walker, and Jack Walker that was. He was reported and reprimanded and actually is ineligible for the Henderson medal, but he gets to play today because they couldn't afford to lose him as well as Chatfield today. So Riley Polkinghorn will take his part. It did cause a big melee, Kyle, last week.
It did. I'd sort of just missed it, but I certainly saw the after effect of it all. I'm not sure he's going to be too phased of not being able to win an individual medal as long as he gets to play and continue their premiership push. So I can't see it being too much of an issue from Polkinghorn's perspective.
Just about to get underway here. I'll get you to have a look who does pick up Cooper Craig Peters. It does look like Mobilio, actually. I think he has gone to him, and I think it's a very good idea. He is a great player, is Cooper Craig Peters. So this promises to be a big game. Joel Muir will start in the ruck for Sunbury, and for the Redan side, it'll be Jacob Short as the siren goes and we get underway in the first quarter out here at City Oval. Not really won by anyone. George fumbles. It's going to be a slippery ball in there all day. Cooper Craig Peters in underneath very quickly. He's tackled by his hard tag, a quick kick forward, but it's all Sunbury who'll get that kick out towards the wing. Coming out, picking up very well there for the Sunbury side was Mitch McLean. Hurried kick forward there by Ross. Goes high. Unable to take the mark for Sunbury was Lee Brennan. Comes back towards a big ruckman and Muir. He can't take it. This is going to happen all day here. It will be very, very greasy, and we will get probably contest after contest today.
Not necessarily a bad thing though, Brad. As we know, contested footy is finals footy, so good, nice little warm-up game at the midway point for both these sides.
Will Madden with Muir. Muir wins that tap out the back. It comes out to Goda. Now they go through the middle. Umpire pays a throw, and that'll go to the way of Atchison. He goes onto the left foot, goes forward, just goes over the head of Grant. Can't take the mark. Now they're away. Quick hands out for Sunbury, all riding the tackle and then getting a short kick towards Goda. Goda, quick hands out looking for Lever. Beats him out over the boundary line. We have a boundary throw in.
Really like that from Grant there. Just a couple of... Didn't lay any tackles, but had about 3 or 4 attempts. So just trying to lock that ball in. Leading goal kicker, as we spoke about before, Brad, for the Redan side. And good that your leading goal kicker can put on forward pressure like that. Madden
wins the tap forward for Redan, but it's a hurried kick forward by Toman. Goes up towards half forward, but it's quickly locked up for Redan through Zach Jenkins, but incorrect disposal. Quickly plays on, and as he's hit is Goodson. Goes towards 50, beats him out over the boundary line. We've got another time clock not working today, Kyle. Seems to be week in, week out. We don't get a time clock, so I'll get you to keep your eye on the time.
Just over 2 minutes in, Brad.
2 minutes into the first quarter. No one has scored as yet here at City Oval. This promises to be a really good game today. As the ball comes back into play, Toman's all wrapped up. We'll have another stoppage right on the 50-metre line for the Sunbury side. We've seen Redan a few times this year, Kyle, really jump sides at the start of the day. They did against Ballarat earlier in the year and Lake Windaree as a quick kick comes forward from Lee Brennan. Kicked off the ground towards Toman. Hands out. That'll go out over the boundary line. We'll have another boundary throw in the right forward pocket for the Sunbury Lions. The Battle of the Lions, 2 Lions today. Gets very confusing, that, Kyle.
It is. Luckily, they're wearing completely different jumpers, Brad. You'd think that's by design.
Yes. As the time clock's now working, they're a couple of minutes behind as the ball comes back into play. Jess is in there. Back into the side today for Redan. Down below is Sutton. He's all wrapped up. We'll have a bounce down. Only about 15 to 20 metres out from the Sunbury goal. Madden wins that tap, goes forward. Quick kick out. But Cooper Peters, high outside defensive 50. It's Craig Peters, sorry. I get that mixed up a lot. Craig Peters. Hands out. They've got the big ruckman on the outside here. It'll be another stoppage. And Muir taking the ruck duties. No Cover Savage today. They will miss him.
Yeah, definitely. He's only played the couple of games this year, but we just found out this morning he lives in New South Wales, Brad. So.
He's a 3-hour drive from the Newcastle airport. Drives the 3 hours to Newcastle, then flies in. And because of lockdown in Sydney, he can't play today. Alec Megan also, which we thought wouldn't play again this year for Sunbury, he's decided not to get cleared in Queensland and will play for the Sunbury side for the remaining part of the year. But he's in lockdown in Queensland as Toman receives the handball, goes for a high kick inside 50, just out on the outside, collects the footy, goes short towards Atchison, but it's chopped off for the Sunbury Lions, comes back inboard and taking a good mark there is Hayden Ross. Goes to 50. Oh, he's mongrelled the kick and hooked that and missed everything. We'll have a boundary throw in, left forward pocket for the Sunbury side. We've gone nearly 2.5 minutes into this first quarter. 4.5 minutes, sorry. Here at City Oval, in it comes. Over the back, Madden taking the ruck duties for Redan at the moment. Quick hands on the outside, looking for Jess. Jess kicks that off the ground towards the boundary line. And Sunbury asking for deliberate, and the umpire has no part of it. We'll have a boundary throw in.
I believe it's actually insufficient intent to keep the ball in play. I'm not sure there was much intent of keeping that in play, Brad.
No, they can word it how they like. It's deliberate for mine. In it comes. Good tap forward by Muir. Smothered kick. Madden, he's all wrapped up by Power. And he's paid what are they calling that these days, Kyle? Incorrect disposal?
Incorrect disposal, holding the ball, dropping the ball.
Yes, they're hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
Has Power has the ball 70 out. This is the thing we talk about every week. He needs to put that to point of the square. He's gone for that. Nearly taking the mark then was Sutton. In only his second game, debuted against Ballarat and went really, really well, did Jake Sutton. Hurried kick forward, trying to get out defensive 50. Harvey's there for the Redan side. Gets hands out to Fitzgibbon, to George. George comes inside, high kick up the wing, but it's all Sunbury, and that looks like the big fella in Muir as he goes deep inside 50. Pack of players flying. Quick hands on the outside from Lamb. Umpire blows his whistle. He's paid a free kick here. And is it Edwards that's going to get it? It is. Michael Edwards. He's going to kick this from about 45.
Now, Brad, I speak about this every week. He looks like he's pretty confident in having the distance, but at the same time, I think he'd want to make the distance unless he puts it to the top of the square.
In he comes. He's going to go close to the man on the mark, which normally sits at left, and then it has. He's missed everything, and he's gone out of bounds on the full. So Redan will come across the outer side to Jess. Had a couple of possessions already in his first game back in the seniors. Goes up the line to Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon now gets his quick kick to it as he's tackled by Goda. It comes back to Goda, ducks under the tackle, smothered by Fitzgibbon. Tries to kick it off the ground in front of Muir. Gets it off to Harvey now, who sinks the slipper into it. Goes up towards the forward pocket there to Short. That started forward now. I thought he'd start in the ruck. Looks like Madden has. Well, Giampolo, the coach, spills out to Edwards. Edwards onto the right foot. And now that is call it what you want, Kyle. Oh.
Maybe being a little generous because of the weather, Brad. But again, probably deliberate. Mickey Edwards, few touches in the last few minutes. I reckon days like today are tailor-made for Mickey Edwards. He loves the in and under hard stuff. And in contrast for the Redan side, I think it's tailor-made for Fitzgibbon. Comes
forward to McLean from the boundary throw-in. Is he taken high or is it ball? I reckon it's one of the two. The umpires decided to go with the latter, and McLean will take the free kick. McLean onto the left foot now. We talk about this every week. He is the most elite kick in this competition, I reckon, right now. He goes to Murphy. Murphy goes short, finds a teammate on the outer side, and that looks like it is Matthews.
You shouldn't be able to hit that in these conditions, Brad. A 40, 45 metre spear kick, chest laid out to his teammate's chest. Perfect start there for McLean, and you're right. I think he's probably just about the best kicker in this competition. One of many great left footers.
Matthews comes in. He'll kick that from just on 40. He's not going to make the distance. Flying over the back was Declan Murphy. Couldn't take the mark and goes through for the first score of the afternoon, and it's a behind. We've gone nearly 9 minutes into the first quarter, and Redan put the first score on the board. Now, they'll go up the line here. Sunbury on the outer side, coming over the back and fisting the ball for Redan. Goes out of bounds. This is, we spoke earlier, or fair about this, that I've noticed here at City Oval, the play is generally played on the outer side of the ground nearly all day. I don't think today's going to be any difference, as Craig Peters ducks under that but gets the free kick. And Mobilio is definitely tagging him. Every time Craig Peters has gone near it, Mobilio's been right on him. He's got him high there. He goes forward looking for Short, comes off his hands, and Lever will take the ball out over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Set up well behind the footy there, did Sunbury. They had a couple of numbers roll up from half forward and just sit in the hole there. So good team defence.
Understatement that it's going to be a low scoring game. Goals will be like gold out here today as Muir takes it out of the ruck. Taken high, I thought. Then for Sunbury might have been Wood, not paid. We have a bevy of players all over this. Edwards is one of them for Sunbury. And we'll have a ball up as Murphy picks himself up for Redan. Only about 20 metres around from the Redan goal. Madden wins that, fisted away by Ross. Toman can't win it, was probably tackled without it. Comes out towards George. This is where he's dangerous, but he's wrapped up by the big ruckman Muir very quickly. Again, we'll have another bounce down, 20 out.
It's going to be one of those days as well, Brad. Once you have it inside 50, it's going to be very difficult to try and clear it from your defensive 50. So important to get capitalise on the score when you've got the opportunity. Matthews
can't cleanly pick up the ball. Comes back inboard now. The coach is there. Giampolo, he's a left footer. Or is he? I thought he was a left footer. He's not. He's a right footer. He kicks well both, obviously. He goes out to the outside towards the boundary line. Redan get a hurried kick at goal, and he's missed to the right. We'll have another behind for the Redan side. They go on to two behinds. The light's already on here at City Oval. It's a shame the heaters aren't, because I can tell you it is as cold as a mother-in-law's kiss out here. High fly by Goodson over the back, can't take the mark. Just again, a lot of players in over this, and the umpire taking his time to blow the whistle.
Just been watching Luke Goda, sort of playing a defensive wing role for Sunbury. Brad just keeps dropping back from the wing and playing down in the hole in defensive 50 for Sunbury.
Great player he is on the Footscray's VFL list. He was put on that not too long back. The high tackle there on Flynn Atchison, the brother of Cooper, just playing his second senior game. Different player to Cooper, they tell me, plays very differently. Be interesting to see how he goes today as ball goes out of bounds. Just outside 50 for Redan. We've gone now 12 and a half minutes into this first quarter. Two behinds to Redan, and Sunbury yet to score as the smothered kick. Fitzgibbon knocks it forward. Ross, though, gets a quick kick out towards the boundary line. He was looking for his teammate in Dirksen, but it beats him out. We'll have another boundary throw in. So going back to that deliberate that hasn't been paid, Kyle, I would think you couldn't pay one at all today if you're not going to pay that one.
No, that's
Set
exactly
the tone.
right. Yep.
You don't think that's going to be paid today now. You could go to the boundary all day if they're not paying that one. As a quick kick comes forward for Sunbury up towards the wing. High ball, collecting it well. Now they are a chance to go inside 50. It's a one-on-one here. Cannot pick the ball up for Redan. He's got a free kick as Goda just picked up the ball and was about to go inside 50. As the coach in the middle tend to normally want to go for the coach. It's a career killer if you don't. He's not done that. Atchison picks it up. Handball out. Good tap on. Now they're away again. They've got Short out towards the wing. Lever closes in on him. Bond wins it to Atchison. Out the back. Ends up in the hands of Fitzgibbon. Oh, he's gone on the right foot. Lowered the eyes. I've seen what he was trying to do. He's trying to hit up Bell, but he's hit that poorly and it's gone out of bounds on the full.
Sunbury probably adjusting to the conditions a little bit better at the moment, I think, Brad. They're more looking for that territory game, whereas Redan are still looking to pinpoint those passes that just aren't on, unfortunately, in these conditions.
Nathan Wood goes up towards the wing. Mark or free kick. Call it what you want there. And Lee Brennan has probably been paid the free kick. Umpire tells him to play on now. Goes for a high kick. It's all Redan. No forwards leading up at him. And he's got Atchison on the outside here between wing and half back. Quickly goes onto his left foot, looking for McLean. Chopped off, and he does this, and he'll do it all day. Does Tyson Lever. Ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw-in right in front of the commentary box here at City Oval. We've gone 14 and a half minutes here in the first quarter. No one yet to kick a goal. Two behinds Redan. Yet to score Sunbury. Comes forward. Hurried left foot kick by Giampolo. That's Chris towards Atchison. Atchison keeps that ball in really well to McLean. Slippery ball can't be picked up. Goda tries. Now they're all in on it. McLean throws that out of there. Actually, it was Murphy Comes out the back, pushed in the back, I would have thought there, but not paid was Mitch McLean for Sunbury. Hurry kick forward towards short. Lever's right on his tail. Umpire says he held him, didn't have it. Chris Giampola takes the advantage, goes on the left foot with another beautiful pass, and he's hit up Lockie George, who'll kick from 40.
Great play there. Atchison, I think, just a few efforts prior to that stoppage of play, just clean with his hands below his knees and playing like the ball's a dry footy out there, Brad.
George comes in, has a shot on goal, misses to the left. Did make the call a few times this year, and I'll stick by it again. I still believe that Redan is the best field kicking side that I've seen, and nothing has changed my mind. Their kicking for goal, though, is a different story, as the scores say, as Lever finds a teammate short, still inside defensive 50. Looks like Ross goes the high kick, gets him outside defensive 50 towards half back, and punch out over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in, 70 around from the Redan goal. And it comes. High ball. Won by Madden. Edwards cleans up for Sunbury though. Quick hands out, and that'll beat the player there in Ben Guthrie out over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. Out of side. Right in front of the coach's box of Sunbury there. And it comes. Fed over the back. Straight away, Mobilio, foot off the ground. Flynn Atchison's there. Comes out towards Matthews. He can't win it. Well done by Sutton. But again, no space to work in. They're working in a phone box out there. And the umpire says, I'll bounce that down as Sutton picks himself up. Blake Thompson there as well. Hasn't played a lot of senior footy this year. Good to see him out there today. Kicked off the ground by Bond, been a great player for Redan this year in the middle. Goes out over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. 30 around from the Redan goal. In it comes. Oh, taken out over the back. Hurry kick forward. Looked like short. Comes out to Atchison. That's Cooper. Gets on the left foot. Goes with a high ball, but fisting the ball out over through the goal mouth is Brad Mundy. And another behind to the Redan side. That'll take them on to 4 points. Sunbury yet to score. Oh my. And we have a kick in to the outer side. Comes off the hands. Looks like Lever in there. Jess is there, is it? Ball beats both out over the line. We have another boundary throw in. 55 around from the Redan goal. As it comes in, you can put brains in statues. As Flynn Atchison is wrapped up. Sorry, you cannot put brains in statues, Kyle.
Yeah, I'll let that through the keeper, Brad.
That's it. Comes out through. All wrapped up. I would have thought this will be a very, very low-scoring affair as we've gone 19 minutes into this first quarter. A goal not kicked, and we've seen in the reserves game, the first goal was kicked by Dean Chester 8 minutes into the second quarter. Could be the story here today too, I would imagine.
Yeah, it looks that way, and there's not really a breeze too favourable to speak of either, so plenty of opportunity for both sides when going inside 50, I think, but yeah, it's just going to be one of those days, Brad. I think it's going to be stating the obvious, lots of contested possession, lots of stoppages, lots of boundary throw-ins, and it's just going to be who's able to capitalise on their opportunities, I think.
Will Madden's there, beats both ruckmen over the back. Again, Flynn Atchison is taken high. You get the free kick. That was against Jack Hannett, who was riding him like a horse. Goes forward, finds McLean. Still on the boundary line. McLean goes to 50. Goes towards the goal mouth. Flicked out over the back. George. Oh, taken high. Isaac Grant not paid, and George mops up though, and that didn't matter. Lucky George just picked that up and snapped his first and Redan and the game's first goal of the game at the 20-minute mark of the first quarter. And now we finally see a goal, and it's gone to Redan. 1-4-10. They lead Sunbury yet to score. That is on your Ballarat Toyota scoreboard.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
I think that's just the pressure of having the ball inside 50 for so long, Brad. Eventually they were going to bust the dam walls open and get a score on the board there, Redan.
Was that a free kick to Flynn Hutchison?
I think play on. I reckon he might.
Really?
I reckon he might have exaggerated the contact a little bit in these conditions. Happy for that to be play on.
I'll look back at the Red Onion footage during the week and I'll text you on that one. I reckon they missed one.
Brad, you know me. Even if it is a free kick, I won't admit it. So you're wasting your breath there.
Well, good to see a score, and it's Lockie George, and he is one when he is forward. And we spoke about this in the pre-game. He's playing more footy forward than in the middle, and God, he causes some damage there. As quick kick out from the ruckman at the moment is Dirksen that's gone in there for Sunbury. Umpires pulled a free kick to the Sunbury side, and it's Ross. Goes short to Lever. Lever on the left foot. Goes to the outer side again. It's a long way home there, and I don't know why they're doing that. He's gone to Werner, and now Werner just sits that up towards half forward, but taking a good mark was Giampolo. That's Chris. Just led his man under the ball, protected the ball drop. Long way home that way, Kyle.
Yeah, we've spoken about, Brad, that earlier Sunbury were looking to go long, but sort of moved away from that the last few minutes. They're trying to play more their brand of usual footy, which is to control the footy.
Mundy took a good mark, goes forward up the line, but it's won by Bell. Bell, it's the outside now with a high kick towards half full, but it's gone out of bounds on the full. And Sunbury will take the free kick. Yeah, I remember when we called them against Melton, they played around with the ball at times, Sunbury, and it just cost them. I just reckon the direct way home, and I know that we've spoken about this too, if you had a Dylan Conway type forward, you're going to go there every time. And I wonder if it's that reasoning that they haven't got power forward that they've got a hell of a lot of confidence in, and they just chip around. But it makes it hard to score, and we've gone, we're now into the first quarter by nearly 23 minutes and they haven't scored.
That's it, but at the same time, despite it going to be a low-scoring game, they're only 10 points down, Brad, so the damage isn't too bad thus far.
No, but right now I reckon 10 points is as good as 4 goals with the way this game's going to be played. If we have another stoppage, out of wing position.
Brad, just one thing I've picked up on, it might just be the angle we're on, but is it a shorter kick to goal from the left of screen? It almost looks like it's a couple of metres shorter from the centre of the ground, so I'm not sure if that plays a part in it all, or it could just be my eyes, Brad.
Might get the meter wheel on that during the week, Kyle. Well, I'm out here as Riley Miller kicks that out of bounds, far wing. I'd be shocked if it is. In it comes. Madden does battle with Dirksen. They both fall over, and the ball comes out over the back. You'd nearly put your money on it here. We'll get another stoppage, as that is going to be very hard to get out, and it is. So another stoppage. We've gone 24 and a half minutes into this first quarter.
Don't think there'll be too much longer left, Brad, although there has been a lot of stoppages, so that might eat into some time on.
Again, we're going to get another one. As he circles. Yeah, it's going to be a tough day. Lights are on. The rain's held off a little bit. I see patches of blue sky trying to sneak through. Take some beating to be colder than what it was out last week at the North Ballarat Melton game at Mars Stadium, as that was freezing as the ball comes to the outside. He's been a good player this year, Zach Jenkins, for Redan. But again, handballing it is a difficult thing here in these greasy conditions, as we see Goodson take a ride, and the free kick goes to Craig Peters for Redan. High up towards Murphy, takes a flight from behind, can't take the mark. Atchison tries to tap the ball to Thompson, but it beats him out over the boundary line. We'll have another boundary throw in, out of wing position in this first quarter. we've gone 25 and a bit minutes as it comes in short. Tries to take that out over the back. Can't do so. Hurried high kick, won't travel the required distance for Sunbury. Goes forward. Quick kick back now for Redan. Still on that outer side towards Murphy. He can't take it. Christian Polar's in there as well. Ball now with a hurried right leg forward towards Bell. He's wrapped up. Ball spills free. Again, we have a lot of players over this. Goda wins it though, just drags it out for Sunbury. Gets a high kick towards the wing position. Bond's there for Redan. He's all wrapped up by two players in Power and Mitch McLean. And we'll have another bounce down. 55 around from the Redan goal.
Another good defensive effort there from Luke Goda, just filling in that hole, playing on that far side defensive wing.
Short, wrapped up. He's not going anywhere. And again, another stoppage. In the shadows of quarter time, out at a cold and dark City Oval here. The 7th place Redan taking on Sunbury, sitting 8th. A must win for both sides. And I think turning in the second half of the season, Sunbury gets some really good influential players back. And in the three that I'm talking of is Kovacevic, Donahue and Megan alone bring back in three very good players. They need to just somehow manufacture a win in these games, Kyle.
Yeah, I think so, although Kovacevic might not be a massive loss today, purely because it is one area that Redan lack in, is having big ruckman, as Short is predominantly their main ruckman, who's more of a tall on baller, I would say. Yeah,
I just mean for the second half of the year, though. Maybe not today, but if they can stay in contact, get into the 6 today, having those three come back in the second half of the year, wow, I know you'd be walking to training as a coach with a bit of a spring in your step, I would have thought.
Yeah, definitely. Not the worst scenario to be facing, particularly, as you said, if they can just stay in touch with that top 6.
Hurry kick out of defensive 50 by Riley Miller for Sunbury. Goes out over the boundary line. And we have a boundary throw-in. 60 metres around from the Redan goal. In it comes, Short. And Dirksen, Short wins that forward. Edwards gets in first, and he's wrapped up by Bond, and we'll have another bounce down.
Wouldn't mind seeing a heat map of the amount of play that's been played on the far half-forward flank there for Redan.
Yes, it's... you're not travelling too far, are you? As we'll have another stoppage. Comes out quickly for Redan, or just leading his team opponent on the ball was Bell. He couldn't take it. Now they need to just get another stoppage here, Sunbury. Cannot allow Redan to score late in this quarter as McLean. And that is the siren for quarter time. And it sees Redan take the lead at 1-4-10, and Sunbury yet to score in a very, very slow-moving contest after contest game of footy out here at City Oval. The goal kicker for the quarter was Lockie George for Redan. So that's 1-4-10-0, quarter time here at City Oval. We'll take a quick break. And when we come back after that break, we'll go through all the around the ground scores. You're listening and watching the Ballarat Toyota McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League match of the day between Redan and Sunbury.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but there's another big bank snapping at their heels. With 1.9 million customers, it's regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
Welcome back to City Oval here, quarter time. Redan lead 1-4-10 to Sunbury, no score. Scores from around the grounds at quarter time. Lake Windaree 3-4-22, leading Darley yet to score. Melton 3 straight 18, leading Ballarat yet to score. Bacchus Smash 2-3-15, trail Sebastopol 3 straight 18, and Melton South 2 straight 12, trail North Ballarat 3-4-22. So I would say all games there going as we would thought to quarter time. Well, they're the ones that I tipped to quarter time as anyway. So interesting. We'll see this one here. Just say it again. I think it's the most important game of the round between these two sides. Sunbury will have to get on their bike here and score quickly. Up it goes. Pushed away. George did of Edwards. Comes out to Atchison. It's Cooper. He can't take it. Comes out towards Bond. Beats him. Hurry. Kick forward. Punched away. Ooh, going low. Tackled high. Not paid. Comes out to Craig Peters. Shrugs the Mobilio tackle. Gets onto the left foot. Out towards the wing. But it's all lever. Reads the play so well. Chops that off. Lowers some eyes. And just hits up his teammate there in Riley Miller. Goes towards the boundary as Sunbury tend to do.
I just looked at him then, and his first instinct was to lower the eyes, which on some occasions not the worst thing, but a day like today, just get it in there, Brad.
Yep, they keep going wide. It's going to make it very hard to score from out there on a day like this as Edwards gets the crumb. He's wrapped up by Atchison. Ball comes out to the outside. Mobilio can't pick it up. Toman's in there. He's tackled. And it looks like we might get another stoppage. No, it has flicked out. Now there a chance Sunbury to go inside 50, but it's a 1-on-3. George overruns it. Flynn Atchison dives in underneath. Comes out towards Edwards. He's taken high, I would have thought, by Jenkins. Not paid. Umpire says I'll bounce that. 50 around from the Sunbury goal.
Love to know how many hardball gets Mickey Edwards has got so far, Brad. He seems to be at the bottom of every pack.
Yeah, it's his type of day, isn't it? He was like that against Melton earlier in the year in round 2 out at Clark Oval when we called that one. He just loves it by the looks of it. There are certain players that love the wet. He's one of them. As Atchison, he's tackled hard there by the big ruckman. There's Edwards in question. Gets a hurry kick forward, but goes straight to Zach Jenkins. Liked his game in the heavy conditions too early. As Jenkins goes out to the outer side. Lever just punches the ball away.
I think the intercept defenders for both sides have done a good job so far, Brad.
Yeah, is it another day like this, Kyle, would you say that an intercept defender rubs his hands when he drives into the ground?
Well, yes and no, because at least he knows the ball's not going to be coming in quick and fast, but at the same time it can be difficult to mark, as we know. So, 50-50, I'd say.
As it goes forward, kicked off the ground by Short for Redan. Woods racing back for Sunbury. Quickly tailed by Chris Giampolo. He's in some trouble here, Wood, but the umpire says no, I'll bounce that down. It's only 20 around from the Redan goal. Short wins that ahead of the bigger Bygate. Comes forward. Grant's there. Quick kick out. Goes to the outer side, but it's going to come back just as quick. It's McLean. Oh, he just tried to weight that over the head of Toman. Couldn't get there, but taking the ball was Harvey. Gets a hurry kick forward. Didn't travel too far. McLean comes out over the back. Punches it forward. It'll come back to McLean. He'll kick this from the boundary line on the angle into the goal mouth. George there can't take the mark. Comes forward now. Sunbury slide in under it. Grant's there. Wraps up. The player in question there. Another one wearing a different number than what I was given, Kyle. Number 35 for Sunbury. kick comes in. Quick hands out from Flynn Atchison to Matthews. Matthews goes to the edge of the goal square with a high kick. Goda's there, though, been good. Goes out towards Lever. Chased down by Bell. Gets his quick kick away up towards Mitch McLean on the wing. The other McLean's there. Mitch McLean ends up winning it. Gets a hurry kick up towards the wing now. And it's all Redan, but the ball will beat Pat Britt out over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in, out a wing.
Said that a few times today, Brad. We'll have a boundary throwing out a wing.
Yes. Gone 4.5 minutes, yet to score in this quarter. Tap down. Quick kick off the ground by Ross. Goes inside 50, but it's Britt again that will take the mark for Redan. He'll transfer play to the commentary box side of the ground. Finds a teammate in Waterbury. Waterbury now has the coach up the line. Goes over his head. Slips. Quick hands out now to Fitzgibbon. A right foot grubber towards Matthews. Just taps that on in front of him. Then a beautiful tap to the outside to Short. Short goes inside 50 with a high kick on the left foot looking for George. But really well, Chris Giampolo he was looking for. Really well done by Nathan Wood. And he takes the ball out over the boundary line.
Yeah, definitely, Brad. Won't get a stat for that, but a huge little tap on that just got his teammate out in the space, and now a stoppage deep inside 50. Another threatening chance. The ball's been locked down here a bit, so expect them to try and capitalise soon.
Boundary throw in. Short is at the front, comes out to Chris Giampolo, has his left foot snapped, smothered, kicked off the ground by Bygate, but luck's a fortune, it's gone straight into the hands of Harvey, and Harvey takes the mark. And he'll have a shot on goal from 40. Quickly plays on, lowers the eyes. That is inexcusable to allow, and it's McLean on the outside all on his own. He's not the one you want it in the hands of if you're a Sunbury player.
No, he's exactly who you want the ball in your hands if you're a Redan supporter, and the last person you want if you're a Sunbury supporter. Just really lazy there, I think. I think they just thought they were going to go long.
He'll kick from 40 as well. In he comes. He's a beautiful kick of the ball. Normally, he's hooked that a little bit and just hasn't made the distance in the end, and able to take the mark in defence is the Sunbury side, and it's Goda. He'll go to the outer side, gets him outside defensive 50 with a beautiful kick, and finds a teammate there in Werner. Werner now, high ball up. Now they'll come back inside towards Edwards. I like this better when they take the game on through the corridor a bit. They're more of a chance to score, but that kick isn't a good one, and it's gone straight to Fitzgibbon. He'll come back through the middle, and he'll turn it over, and it'll be Goda. Goda on the bike now with a lovely long kick forward. Well done by Britt, but it's rove by Mitch McLean. High kick into the goal mouth, and it'll carry over, and a behind for the Sunbury side. We've gone 7 minutes into the second quarter. That's their first score of the day. They quickly come in. Redan find Britt. The umpire's going to say come back. Don't know why. So it will come back, and it'll be Waterbury again that'll bring the ball back into play. Crowded over the other side of the ground. I would think that's where he's going to go, and he does. High kick outside defensive 50. Pack of players. Edwards is in underneath again. There's been a free kick here, and someone's not happy, and I think it's going to go to the way of Sunbury. They're not happy with Michael Edwards there. And it's Bond. Is it? No, it's not. It's actually Tommy Lamb. Lamb, free kick, goes to the outer wing. High ball, comes over the back to Short, comes inside. Quick hands off to Murphy. He can't handle it. Goes to ground. We'll have a lock-up and another stoppage. Outer side of the ground. Don't forget, stay tuned for all scores from around the grounds. We'll bring them to you all day in some really big games that are starting to shape a very, very close ladder in this competition. Melton sitting second, take on the fifth place Ballarat. That promises to be a beauty. Another two sides inside the top six. The sixth place Bacchus Marsh taking on the fourth placed Sebastopol. There was only 3 points in that at quarter time. And then the other games are Melton South taking on North Ballarat and Lake Windaree taking on Darley. So whether you're further east of Ballarat and you're tuning into this one and you want around the ground scores, tune in all day. Thanks to Ballarat Toyota, we'll bring you all the action of this one and the scores of every other game as Cooper Atchison tries to keep that in play. But the boundary umpire says no. I'll throw that in on the outer wing position.
Ballarat Toyota are missing out on being able to play that jingle so often, Brad. It's only been played the once today.
Yes, and I might sneak a couple in as Atchison's tackled heavily by Michael Edwards, coming out and taking a really great mark is the small Chris Giampolo, who just really jumped and took the ball at its highest point. Kicks out towards short in a 1-on-2 though. Don't know if that was the idea. There was Featon and Bygate there for Sunbury. They were able to kill the ball out over the boundary line.
I'm not sure why both sides are just looking for that short and wide kick. It's just low percentage on a day like today, Brad.
I agree, as McLean gets a kick from that stoppage, but again he just gets to the right spots. Is Tyson Lever. He goes towards Goda on the outer side, or the commentary box side of the ground. Fitzgibbon slips over as he goes around him, gets a quick kick up towards the wing right in front of the commentary box, but it's taken out over the boundary line by Riley Miller in front of Harvey. We'll have another boundary throw in. 10.5 minutes gone, second quarter. 9-point lead to Redan. 1-4-10 to 1 behind Sunbury. In it comes. McLean winning a fair bit of the ball now. Quick hands out to a teammate in Jenkins. Gets it forward. Lever's there. He'd be happy to see that over the boundary line in front of Murphy and Short. And we'll have another boundary throw in. 65 metres around. From the Sunbury, from the Melton, we'll get the club right soon. Redan enjoying the 2011 Premiership reunion inside Saxon House here today. There's seniors, under 18s, and then netballers AC grades and under 18s as Lockie George kicks the ball inside 50 deep, but Wood chops that off. Comes in the middle towards Ross. Ross now, again, the long way home, straight towards the boundary with a high kick. Very easy to defend with a 2-on-1 as Atchison wraps up the Sunbury play. It's just a low percentage kick, Tice. Kyle, I've called you every name today. Kyle, I don't understand. That's a long kick straight towards the boundary.
Yeah, and I don't think either coach should be too impressed at the moment with some of the decision making by both sides, Brad. I think it's just keep it simple on a day like today. Get territory, get the ball rolling forward, and just put the pressure in. Try and lock it inside 50.
I know it's not an easy day to play, but I reckon that 35 might be James Cree, that I had him listed as 52 for Sunbury. So I'll jot that down as James Cree. Yeah, I talked to the Sunbury coach, Travis Hodgson, at length before the game, and he had a set way he wanted to play today, and he knows how important today is. As we see a hurried kick out by Sutton, I've liked his game. It's only his second senior game for the Sunbury side. Jess is there, kicks it off the ground for Redan, up towards half forward, but it'll come back quickly from Tommy Werner. High kick up towards the wing.
Just looking at Sunbury at the moment, though, Brad, I feel like they've maybe got too many people trying to get back behind the ball, because when they look up, they've just got nothing forward to centre at the moment. So they're restricting Redan from scoring, but they don't look like scoring themselves.
Comes back into play. Dirkson's there. Hurried kick inside 50 on the left foot. But Redan, through the agency of Waterbury, will mop this up. It gives him a shepherd by Lamb. Handball comes out. Ends up in the hands, though, of Guthrie. Ben Guthrie goes forward. Here's a chance. Just couldn't pick the ball up. So slippery that it is. And Redan are able to lock down and get another stoppage. Only 20 metres around from the Sunbury goal in the right forward pocket.
Another just a handball to try and get out of trouble. Again, just bang it down the line.
Quick kick out of the ruck. Redan go towards the defensive 50 arc now. Just go outside. Again, we have a lot of players over this, and you're not going to get that out. There's big Dylan Featon is in there for Sunbury. Liked his game in round 2 that we called against Melton out there at Clark Oval. A very good defender. Taken out of the ruck, and a quick kick forward was very well done by Dirksen, but has his kick smothered. Quick kick on the right leg from Craig Peters. Tyson Lever is there. He's wrapped up. Right on the centre wing, out of sight of the ground. I'll have another stoppage. I don't know how many games, but I might take a quick look at half-time. Side hasn't kicked a goal to half-time as Craig Peters goes inside. Ends up in the hands of Bell. Bell, handball on the outside to Cooper Atchison. Goes towards goal! Just wrapped up by Tyson Lever. He's been brilliant up back for Sunbury. Comes out to Guthrie. Guthrie goes into the middle. Now they're going to take it on through the middle through Toman, who's been a little bit quiet. Still in the middle of the ground. The outer side now in the hands of Riley Miller. Miller lowers his eyes back to Toman, who's run up the ground. Toman goes inside to Sutton, and Sutton has taken the mark 45 metres around from goal.
She doesn't look too confident. I reckon he might try and put this one at the top of the square, although his teammates are saying go back and have a shot, so maybe he does have it in him. Jake
Sutton, second game of senior footy for Sunbury today, and he comes, kicks from 45. I reckon he's got the distance, he's got the accuracy, and he's got their first for the day. Jake Sutton, what a great kick for goal by the young man. And they get their first, 1-1-7 Sunbury. They trail Redan 1-4-10. We've gone 19 minutes into your second quarter here at City Oval, thanks to Ballarat Toyota.
Oh, what a feeling! Toyota.
Try 16 minutes.
Amazing what happens when you try and move the ball quick through the corridor, Brad.
Yes. I just love it when a side takes the risk. And in their defence, Redan have locked up that centre and own the corridor, so it is hard at times. I understand that. As George in the middle wins the ball out, has his kick smothered, flicks high now, short jumps, ball comes forward. Now it's all going to be locked up by Craig Peters. He's always in and underneath the bottom of the pack with Wood and Ross in this stage as Mobilio is held by Fitzgibbon as he tries to get to Craig Peters on the hard tag.
How have you seen Mobilio on that, Brad?
I think he's done well. Craig Peters has been okay, but he hasn't been the damaging Craig Peters we've seen every week as Flynn Atchison finds Fitzgibbon on the wing position, goes towards the pocket with a beautiful kick, finds his teammate in Madden. Madden with a hurried kick forward. Again, he's my best on ground at the moment. Is Tyson Lever. He's just chopped off a lot of ball in the right spots. Lever on the left foot. Looking for Goda, who flies from behind. Ends up with it. Takes the crumb. Well tackled there by Madden. The umpire will bounce it. They haven't got a ruckman here at the moment, Sunbury, as he comes in late. Madden comes out to Toman, quickly wrapped up by the Redan ruckman. Oh, he's had Pryor there, has he? He has.
He has paid it, but I'm not, 50-50.
Will Madden takes the free kick. I don't know, I thought he just had a wall there and he had nowhere to go. As Madden goes straight towards the pocket, and that's easy to defend for Sunbury by Luke Goda, and he kills that out over the boundary, 50 around from the Redan goal.
Haven't seen much of Isaac Grant today, Brad.
No.
I thought today would be a perfect day for suiting him, but they've done a good job to nullify his influence so far, Sunbury.
Short to Fitzgibbon, gets it out to Thompson. Thompson with a high kick into the goal square, carries over the back. A lot of players around this again, and going to be hard to get that out. We'll have a bounce down right inside the goal square for Redan. Very important here. We've got no one manning up on Bond behind the pack here. Could be dangerous as Dirksen tries to get it out by foot in the ruck. Edwards is there. Quick kick out from short onto the left foot. Misses to the left. And a behind for the Redan side. They lead by 4 points. 1-5-11 to 1-1-7. And we have gone now in this second quarter, 19.25 minutes. Been lucky with the rain. It has held off as Lever brings it in over the head of George. High kick, pack of players. Murphy claimed it for Redan. The umpire said touched off hands. Crowd don't like it. Up it goes. Ooh, again, Dirksen trying to kick that out of midair. Ends up in the hands of Goater. They're going to go through the middle again. This time it's through Power. Power gets it over the back. He's got Ben Guthrie running onto it, but he's got two Redan players in Craig Peters and Giampolo running down on him. Craig Peters wins it. He's all wrapped up by Sutton and Goodson.
He's paid holding the ball, I think.
He has. He said you had Pry, you took him on, and Sutton will get the free kick. And from what we've seen before, distance won't be a problem here, Kyle.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot earlier, so confidence could be up.
This, incredibly, would put them in front. They're 4 points down. Sutton's got their first goal of the game 7 minutes into the second quarter, and we're now 20 minutes gone. Redan hasn't kicked a goal. Sutton comes in for his second. He's going to miss that to the right. He's missed everything. And he's kicked that out on the full. And Waterbury will be the recipient of the free kick for Redan. What a beautiful day here in Ballarat. Not a breath of wind. Lovely football day, Kyle.
Is that tongue-in-cheek, Brad?
No, it is a very good football day. Mightn't be good standing out in it, calling it. But a very good day to watch the footy from inside your car. Tune into the live stream in case you don't know the players of the opposition on your phone and get the call, Kyle.
Very true, although some people might go, why would I want to listen to these two people talk dribble? But
this is very true. I hear that every day from the better half. As another stoppage. And the big man in Muir, he's a very big man. Joel Muir will do battle here with Madden. Muir wins it. Oh, coming in hard was Flynn Atchison and collected the ball on the way up and was all wrapped up.
just thinking, Brad, this last few minutes, we haven't had any rain for a while, and with how beautiful this ground is, it seems to have drained it up, and I think the skill level's just slightly improving a little bit.
Yeah, it is. It does look very dry out there, doesn't it? I mean, this ground, the surface on this ground is as good as you'll see anywhere. It is an absolute beautiful ground, and as you can see, the ball is bouncing truly when it does get the opportunity, as there's been stoppage after stoppage, and we'll have another one. Big Muir and Madden. Muir holds the front spot, taps it out over the back of his head. Grant is there, taken out by Power. We'll have a boundary throw in, 60 metres around. We've gone nearly 23 minutes into the second quarter here. It's a 4-point lead to Redan. Comes out to Edwards, who's been good. He has his kick half smothered, goes out over the boundary line. It was really good play of Bond to smother that kick of Edwards's. And another stoppage, boundary throw in. Still 60 around. Tapped out the back. Beautiful tap by the big Muir. Found Guthrie. Handballs towards Edwards. And again, this boundary umpire has earned his money over that side of the ground today, Kyle.
Certainly has, Brad. Just on Ben Guthrie, Josh Guthrie's brother, not playing today, I don't believe.
Now, that might be the one. I keep getting them all mixed up, but I think he's at Footscray as George takes the ball out to Atchison. Cooper Atchison on the left foot. goes up forward. Really good work. Now Sunbury are able to get that back towards Muir. Knocked away from him by Bond. Comes forward. Hurried kick forward for Sunbury by Power. High ball towards Sutton. But a good mark to Lamb in defence for Redan.
Sutton's just proving a nice target going inside 50 of the last few minutes for Sunbury, Brad.
Goes out towards Fitzgibbon outside defensive 50. Yeah, he's been good, the kid. Sutton. Now in the hands of Murphy by the looks of that. Goes towards McLean on the outer side in front of Wood. Up towards the wing to Craig Peters.
I think it's definitely dried a bit out there, Brad. It's certainly, the skill level just picking up the last few minutes.
Goes towards the 50-metre arc. Bell taps it forward. Wrapped up, the Redan player, by 3 Sunbury players is Chris Giampolo with a bounce down, 60 metres around from the Redan goal. Nearly time on period here at City Oval in the second quarter. Spills out the back to Lever. Handballs behind him to a teammate in Jack Hannett. High kick up towards the wing, and the ball's taken out, punched out over the boundary line by Flynn Atchison. Been good today too.
Yeah, so's his brother. I think both of them been pretty good so far.
Back into play. Taken out by Muir, wrapped up by Jess. Now, did he have prior? Umpire says no. Play on. Comes out to Harvey. Harvey, handball on the outside. Dancing around is George. Comes back to Lockie McLean. Lowers some eyes just over the head of Fitzgibbons. Now it's picked up by Ross. Ross from Sunbury. Hurry kick to Toman on the outer wing. Toman quickly plays onto the right leg. Finds the big fella there in Dirksen. Dirksen still outside their forward 50. A goal just before the main break would be very handy for the Sunbury side. So the high kick goes forward, comes to the front. Edwards is there. He's quickly wrapped up. And Flynn Atchison again, he's been at the bottom of a lot of packs today. He's there again for the Redan side. We'll have a bounce down. About 25 metres out from the Sunbury goal in the shadows of half-time. Cooper Atchison onto the left foot, gets Redan outside defensive 50, but the big ruckman has propped himself in the hole there, Muir. And he takes the mark for Sunbury. High kick inside, forward 50. Pack of players again, comes over the back. Just laying on the ball again is Atchison. That's Flynn.
Just about to say, Brad, I think Pat Brute's done a fantastic job so far on Goodson. Been pretty quiet, Goodson, to date.
Another bounce down as Britt gives Goodson a bit of work over there around that stoppage.
Just wearing him like a glove.
Okay, a lot of players around this. Take a guess what's going to happen here. They try to get it out wider. George gets a hurried kick out, but it comes straight to Lever. He's got himself in the right spot again, and a beautiful kick to Dirksen. He can't hold the mark. A hurry, snap forward, and he's kicked the goal, and I reckon it's very hard to see that. I reckon it was Mobilio. It was. Corey Mobilio just went through the hands of Dirksen, and he was in the right spot at the right time, the young boy, and he snapped his first for the day. And Sunbury second, and they've taken the lead 2-1-13 to 1-5-11. We've gone nearly 22 minutes into the second quarter, thanks to Ballarat Toyota. 29 minutes.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
28, that's the smallest time clock, and my eyes aren't that good. So
I was going to say, I can see it fine, Brad. It might just be your eyes.
It's my eyes. It is my eyes as Craig Peters gets it out to George onto the left foot. Goes high towards the half-forward line. I haven't put that score up yet, but I can tell you it is 2-1-13 at half-time, Sunbury. They just hit the lead late in that second quarter. to Redan, 1-5-11. Half time here at City Oval. The goal kickers won't take long to go through. For Sunbury, Sutton has one and Mobilio has one. And for the Redan side, Lockie George got the first goal of the game in that first quarter. So at half time, 2-1-13 Sunbury, 1-5-11 Redan. We'll be back after this break with all the around the ground scores and go through what we've seen here in the first half at City Oval. All thanks to Ballarat Toyota. This is the live stream McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League match of the day. Redan 1-5-11, Sunbury 2-1-13.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but there's another big bank snapping at their heels. With 1.9 million customers, it's regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
Welcome back to City Oval here. It's half-time thanks to McCafe. 1-5-11 Redan, 2-1-13 Sunbury. There were some great goals out there last week, as you've just seen out at Mars Stadium, and none better than Kevin Clix's.
Yeah, he put on a little bit of a clinic in about a 30-second period there, Brad, where he just turned the switch and went bang, bang with two very similar goals. I think one of them might have made it into the actual top five.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Plays. Always get plenty of feedback of what shouldn't go in.
Yes, did I during the week. You know who I got? Riley Walker. Everyone told me, why wasn't Riley Walker's goal in the top 5 plays of the week? Got the handball off, ran past and kicked that from 50, and it was a defender, and they loved it. And I think it was the defenders voting for him.
Yeah, look, I won't lie. I'm the one who has that crucial call at the end.
Do you?
I was just saying then off air that out of the 5, I'd usually get about 20 to pick from, and I choose my best 5. So it should just say Kyle Pover's best favourite plays of the week. Occasionally we put it to a vote in the office, so I do apologise to Riley Walker. It's not to say it wasn't a good goal. It's just, in my opinion, there were 5 better plays.
Well, I'm glad that you've cleared that up, because I've been getting a bit of flack. I think people think it's me because I do the voice on it.
Right, okay.
They think I choose them. So I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah,
So you can start texting Kyle Pover on 04. Hey, some scores from around the ground, Kyle. Some close games everywhere today, which is magnificent. Lake Windaree, half-time, 4-6-30. Lead Darley, who have come back in that quarter, 3-2-20. They're back in the game. Melton, 3-3-21. 4-point leaders over Ballarat, 2-5-17. Bacchus Smash, 4-5-29. A goal down to Sebastopol, 5-5-35. And Melton South come back in that quarter, 4-5-29. Trail, North Ballarat, 5-7-37. And here we have 2-1-13 Sunbury, 1-5-11 Redan. Every game, I know it's going to be a low-scoring game, but every game in this round is very, very close. And East Point have the bye, of course.
Yep, well, nothing different there, Brad. There's just nothing between these sides, which is great for footy in Ballarat and Melton, Sunbury areas, and Bacchus Marsh, of course, and Darley, can't forget Darley. But yeah, look, it's I think if you're both of these sides and seeing the Bacchus Marsh are down by a goal at half-time, you'd be really... not that the coaching staff would be looking at it, but I think the support staff might be thinking, gee, if we can get up and win here, and if Bacchus Marsh can go down, then it's a massive opportunity to lament yourself inside that top 6.
If you're Bacchus Marsh and you don't get over Sebastopol today, you'd probably be a little bit disappointed. A lot of players out today, Sebastopol. There's about 5 or 6.
Yeah, and look, as we've spoken about with the evenness, when teams have injuries and players out at VFL level and the likes, you really do have to capitalise and take the most of your opportunities, because it is such a fine line between each team each week.
Certainly do. Michael Powell's one of the big ones that they'll miss today out there with a hamstring, but they got a few out. And now, I might be wrong, but I reckon one of the clubs, actually, it's Bacchus Marsh, actually, who are playing Sebastopol. Bacchus Marsh have their own injuries and also a wedding. Now, this is a little bit of a bugbear with me when I coached. Players that get married in a footy season, and it's the leading goal kicker of the side, Jake Owen, getting married today.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, he obviously loves her, because no doubt it would have been her call, I think.
Wow.
And... happy wife, happy life is what they say, Brad. So
unbelievable.
Whatever says goes. So it's not ideal, but look, it is what it is, and hopefully they can get the 4 points without him.
Now, our life member of East Point, the cameraman's father's just brought up a lovely latte from McCafe here at half-time. Fantastic. Brock Wilson's dad there just dropping in, because East Point have the bye. He's out here watching this game here, life member of the East Point Footy Club, and haven't they come back now? They've picked up the big man in Darren Jolly.
Absolutely. Now, when you guys said last week, and surprised me off air before the game, that Darren Jolly would be playing, at first I thought, Darren Jolly, he retired about 10 years ago. Surely, it's even at this level, surely he's past it now. But, gee, I saw a photo of him during the week. He looks like he could still be playing.
Him and Josh Gibson's in good nick too, isn't he? Yeah, they're both in good nick. And I think that's magnificent for the competition. And, I've raved about this competition since day one coming in at the start of this year. It is a very good competition of footy. The ladders, the goal-kicking tables, everything just says that right now, that this is one of the better competitions, if not the best competition in the state.
I won't say who, but I had a meeting yesterday, Brad, with another big country league, and I did tell them, I said, look, I'm being biased and no offence here, but I think currently the Ballarat Football Netball League is the best and most even competition in the state. Of course, he said it wasn't, and as I said, I won't name who the league was, but it's just great for the Ballarat League to get back to finding their identity. I think Shane Anwell, the general manager, has done a fantastic job in almost, not, I wouldn't say rebranding, but just giving the league a bit more of its identity back from years gone by.
Yeah, Scott Carey also, the
Yep.
football operations manager, does a magnificent job. I'm in here a fair bit during the week, and these guys don't stop. Doesn't matter what time of day or what time of night, they're always in here, and I think they do a magnificent job. And the competition just, it breeds out from the top out, doesn't it? I mean, when things are going bad, people say the fish rots from the head. Well, when things are going good, I still think it starts from the top, and this competition's no different.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, that the way they see it is, if you're doing your job right, you don't hear any complaints, so you will never get praised for things like that. But of course, as we all know, it's just that tall poppy syndrome that unfortunately I think us Aussies have in this day and age, that we like to kick someone while they're down. But yeah, look, it's as we speak about each and every week, it's a great league. It's exciting every week. As we know, I come up from Melbourne, so. I have a good think about on the way of the ground who I think's going to win, and as we said today, I don't know who's going to win this and who's going to be walking away victors. And at half time, there's a 2-point gap, and we're still no closer to finding out who's actually going to win this game, Brad.
And the women's competition is going on in leaps and bounds in the Ballarat Football Netball League as well. They have a general bye tomorrow, and then round 9 kicks off the following week. And on Beyond the Boundary for the Ballarat Football Netball League, we interviewed Dylan Sexton, the coach of the Sebastopol side, the other day on Friday, yesterday's, and he's just won the Goldfields Coach of the Month, which now he goes in line for the Coach of the Year. Was shocked to see how young he was. He looked like, I didn't ask him his age, but he looked very young, and what a job he's done. Speaks so well as well, and I am told that we will be live streaming and calling the women's grand final in the Ballarat League.
Yeah, fantastic opportunity for that is a new branded league, the Ballarat Women's, breaking away from the AFL Goldfields Women's competition. Looking forward to that one. I think that'll be 2 weeks before the Ballarat Football Netball League grand final, which again, looking forward to that one. It's always working at Red Onion the past few years. I've been unlucky and not being able to attend that because I've had to attend other grand finals, but I've already said in the office that no, I'm doing the Ballarat Football Netball League grand final because I think it's going to be an epic, whoever gets there. I mean, at the moment, after seeing them live last week, I think North Ballarat has one spot if they can keep it together, although Chatfield potentially being out for the season could be a huge loss. I mean, it's one of those things where he's already played enough games to qualify for finals. Do they put him on ice and do they get him back for finals because he's already proven he can play through the pain as he did last week, or is there a bigger picture and think, no, he's still young, this isn't a structural damage, this is an internal
That's the
issue,
thing.
and it's whether you weigh up whether the risk is worth the reward. Yeah,
it's not a normal injury, it's an organ. I think that'll be their number one priority, is that football's secondary. When it's a broken leg or a knee or something like that, or a broken jaw even as bad as that, you'll probably come back and play. But when it's an organ, and I do know of a couple of players that have lost a kidney through footy, one of which is Sam Newman actually lost a kidney very young in his career. And, I mean, you go on and live without a kidney, but it's got to be the number one priority. And it's such a shame. That kid has been super. And to think that he continued to play on, that happened in the first quarter, to think he continued to play the rest of the day with that injury, he's not only a very, very good footballer, he's very tough.
Certainly, Brad, we've spoken about before. We think he's probably got the best hands in the competition. Yeah. He's just a brilliant mark, meets the ball at its highest point, and he's just got sticky hands. The ball, it's one grab, which is what you want from your key forward. So no doubt they'll miss him, but as we saw last week, they're a system-based footy side. Yeah. They're well-drilled, well-coached. Everyone knows what they're doing and where they've got to be at each instance of the game. So I think they're going to find a way, but it is going to be up to the rest of those 5 forwards inside 50 to then lift that extra 15-20% and make up for that loss.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting. Just before we go to our last break, before the third quarter gets underway, the scores from around the ground: Lake Windaree 4-6-30 to Darley 3-2-20, Melton 3-3-21, Ballarat 2-5-17, Bacchus Marsh 4-5-29 to Sebastopol 5-5-35. Melton South 4-5-29 to North Ballarat 5-7-37, and here at City Oval it is Sunbury 2-1-13 to Redan 1-5-11. We'll be back after this quick message thanks to McCafe.
Try Macca's new honey soy or aioli chicken wraps with 100% Aussie RSPCA approved chicken breast. With new wraps prepared to order, there's more to love at Macca's.
With McDelivery, Macca's comes to you so you can enjoy it at home, fast, safe and contact-free. Search Macca's website for your local delivery partner.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but there's another big bank snapping at their heels. With 1.9 million customers, it's regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
Welcome back to City Oval here in the big game between Sunbury and Redan. 1-5-11 Redan trails Sunbury 2-1-13. We're just waiting as Sunbury now comes out onto the ground and Redan are already out there. And we just enjoyed at our McCafe half-time break, Mouse from the East Point Football Club Life member brought us around a lovely latte from McCafe. Thanks very much, Mouse. If you're listening in your car in the warm spot with a heater blaring.
Yeah, got the perfect view, and I loved my flat white from McCafe then. Tasted beautiful, Brad. Just a straight flat white for me, no sugar.
No sugar? No
sugar, nice and simple, like the taste of a nice strong coffee. Can't go wrong with Macca's.
No. I'll tell you what, I've got a coffee machine at home, Kyle, and I know this has nothing to do with football, but I can say that I usually hit McDonald's first thing every morning, and I brought this $1,000 coffee machine, and I still have my first coffee every day at McDonald's, just through the drive-through in Ballarat. You don't get out of your car in Ballarat.
No, that's right. It's the best, most consistent coffee in Australia, I think, Brad. You cannot go wrong with a Macca's coffee. I did the same thing a few years back. I thought I spent that much money on coffee. I'm going to invest in a nice, proper one. And it's clearly the person making it as well. So because, not too flash, and I'm exactly the same. I always get out to McCafe.
Yes, great spot and great sponsors of the Ballarat Football Netball League and sport in general around the country is McDonald's. As players are in position
Just on some of our sponsors, Brad, we haven't been able to give a mention to Ballarat Sports Medicine today. No injuries to report on, so
it's a good thing.
Good thing, although I think there might be a few that might need a rub down during the week with some sore legs in this hard, cold weather. So, if you're out there, be sure to head down to Ballarat Sports Medicine. They'll sort you out.
Now, I have just noticed there has been a change in the middle. Toman has now gone to Craig Peters. So they've moved Mobilio away and Craig Peters gets the job. Mobilio now has gone to George, and that's a hard tag. So this is going to be interesting as George goes in very, very hard, and we'll get a secondary stoppage.
Maybe they listened to my prediction before the game, Brad, where I thought George might be the one Mobilio goes to, but so we'll call it even, both right there.
Hodgson is such a good coach. That could be a learning curve for the kid in Mobilio. You've gone and run with Craig Peters, a great player. Now go and run with probably the best footballer in the competition in Lockie George. And I'll tell you now, while we have another stoppage and break in play, I talked to Trav Hodgson a bit, and you'll always find out how good a coach is when he coaches a side in trouble or through injuries or whatever, not a coach that can go and coach a top side. Find out a good coach. Now, they've beaten Ballarat and Sebastopol in their last two outings. They're now in front here of Redan, and their season's on the line. And I'll tell you what, I rate Trav Hodgson as an excellent coach. As Wood has the ball in the middle for Sunbury. Goes short to the outside to the big fella in Featon, who is a left footer. Now hands it off. Comes back to Featon. Good pressure from Redan. Back to Wood as Murphy circles him. Wood, nice kick. Finds Toman, is it? Goes inside. Back to Featon. He slips over. Umpires paid a free kick. Lucks a fortune. And Featon gets the free in the middle of the ground. High kick towards half forward. Pack of players. Comes out over the back. Waterbury gets a kick up the line. Looking for a teammate in Mundy, but it beats him out over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. Centre wing position out of side. Yeah, I really rate a coach that coaches in difficult situations, and Sunbury have lost players this year.
I was just about to say he's a situational coach. He has something for each team and really studies the opposition, I think, better than most, and really moulds his game plan going into the day around that.
And I think we're very, very spoilt in this competition with excellent coaches. Every week you see some excellent coaching, and, I mean, the obvious one is Brendan McCartney at North Ballarat, where he's got them on top at the moment.
I've been really impressed with Heath Pritchard from Melton South as well. I think he's doing a fantastic job with such a young side at the moment, and for the first time in a long time, there's light at the end of the tunnel for the boys down at Melton South. They've had a terrific season to date.
Michael Searle's doing a wonderful job at Sebastopol as well, as Joe Carmody is with Ballarat. There's some really, really good coaches in this competition, and I've been a huge fan of all of them this year and the time that they give, as well as Wood again gets this on the outside, tackled by Harvey. The umpire said he didn't have it, so he'll get the free kick. Nathan Wood. I think he might go up the line as he's told to by Lever, and he does. High kick. Dirksen can't mark it. Comes off hands of Ben Guthrie, and we'll have another stoppage on that outer wing position. The players spent most of the day. So early in the third quarter, 2-point lead to Sunbury, and they took a while to kick their first goal. It was 7 minutes into the second quarter to Jake Sutton, and Mobilio got one just before the siren. And
they've probably only been in front for about 5 minutes of this game, Brad.
Yes, in a very low-scoring game, as Edwards again underneath for the Sunbury side. And we'll get another stoppage. Yeah, so they have been good, both sides, in tricky conditions, and it means so much. A spot in the 6 tonight, you would say. If Ballarat and Bacchus go down to Melton and Sebastopol respectively, the winner of this will slide into that top 6, I would think, as it comes forward. But George is there, wrapped up, gets his hands away with really good hands to a teammate on the outside, has a hurried kick towards the pocket. Grant flicks it out the back to Harvey. Harvey's tackled. Very good tackle by Luke Goda. Umpire pays him the free kick for an incorrect disposal. Goda now along the line. Big Muir can't mark it. Comes over the back to McLean. Lockie McLean will bring this back towards centre half forward, looking for Matthews. Spoilt by Wood, comes to ground. They all dive in on. And the umpire says, I'll bounce that down, centre half forward for the Redan side. So, no goal kicked yet. Just 5.5 minutes into this third quarter. The all-important third quarter as quick kick comes forward for Redan by Madden. Lever's there. Quick hands out. Comes to feet into Lever. Lever, hurried kick towards the boundary line. Has that gone out over on the full? It has. And it's in the hands of Lockie McLean, who is in a perfect spot for a left footer, and a left footer as good as he is. Right on the boundary. Going to take a great kick, but if anyone could do it, it could be him. He plays on. He lets me down with the commentator's curse, or did he try to pass that?
No, I think that's off the side of the boot, Brad.
I think it was. And umpires paid. You took them on.
Red hot on that one, I thought.
Yeah, it was. And that was against Blake Thompson. So
He's
Sunbury,
paid
he's paid
a
a
50.
50.
Yeah.
I think there might have been a bit of lip.
And another 50.
Well, you can't afford that on a low-scoring day. And we'll get the... He's over near Ross. The culprit is on that far wing.
Short.
Was it Short?
It was
it?
Short.
Jacob Short. So they've had 100 metres, and
Although I reckon that's a very short 100 metres, Brad.
very, very costly on a day like this in a low-scoring game. And they will have a shot on goal, and it's Toman. It's going to fall short, nearly taken by Dirksen. Hurried handball is a rush behind for the Sunbury side. They quickly play on through Fitzgibbon to Waterbury. Has the ball in the right back pocket for Redan. Waterbury, high kick up towards Lamb, punched away from him by Lever, who has been excellent. Kept in play by Thompson. Comes back to Thompson from Chris Giampolo. Gets a kick inside 50 with a mongrel floating kick. Grant's there. Toe pokes it out towards Short. Now it'll come out to Cree. He slides in underneath it. So does the big man in Bygate. And that's not going to come out. And we'll have a bounce down in the left forward pocket for the Redan side. Got out of jail, Redan then, with a 100-metre penalty, and then they rebound straight back. Have the ball deep in their forward line now. But it's going to come out through Toman. Goes for the big mongrel Torp. Loved this kid's game. Second game of senior footy. Flynn Atchison squares it up into the middle of the ground of the coach. Jarrett Giampolo. Goes forward looking for Short. Carries over his head. Then it'll beat Ross out over the boundary line.
Not a bad result, though, Brad. Going outside the boundary line there and getting a stoppage inside 50. Had most of the play these last few minutes.
Yeah, they'd be happy to have the ball there, that's for sure, as it comes into play. Big fella and Muir. Quick hands out. Hannett's wrapped up. Gets his hands to it. Umpire lets that go. Well, I reckon that was thrown out by Thompson, not paid. Now, a hurry kick, but that's smothered. Sutton Gets the left foot clearance outside there. Defensive 50, but it's going to come back with some interest here. Has McLean in the middle of the ground. Goes to him. McLean now gets onto that trusty left foot. Low ball, but Lever reads it better than everyone again.
He's been fantastic today, Brad.
Best on ground for mine. Goes short to Toman. Quick hands on the outside now. Finds Bygate with a kick up the wing, and it's 1 on 3. And it's going to be won here by Jenkins. Jenkins goes short and finds a teammate square. Back up the wing, but that's a poor kick. It's gone straight to Goda. And Goda, commentary box side of the ground, centre wing. Plays on around Waterbury with a high kick. Has a player over the back in Sutton. Couldn't take the mark. Comes out to McLean. McLean's wrapped up by Sutton. Then Edwards gets onto him and the umpire's paid the free kick. It'll go to Sutton. Been good. Get the free kick just inside 50, right on the boundary line. Take his best.
I think percentages say you go to the top of the goal square here.
And he comes. Sutton sits it up. He's done that. Comes forward to Toman. Roves it well. Tackled. Handball out. And it's picked up by Jess for Redan. Gets him out of danger. Defensive 50. But that's going to come back. Featon's read that well. Has his kick half smothered. Shorts there for Redan. Dirksen as well. Comes out to Goda. He's all wrapped up by Jenkins. Flicks out the side. McLean. Smothered handball. Toman's in there. Short. Sutton. They're all over it. The umpire will bounce that down inside the 50 for the Sunbury side. We've now gone 11 minutes into the third quarter. 3-point lead to Sunbury. Comes out towards Wood. Has a fresh air shot as he's tackled by Harvey. And again, we'll have another stoppage as Madden's kick was all smothered. Right on the 50. It'll be Madden. It'll do battle with Dirksen by the looks of it. Another stoppage as well.
Real arm wrestle, just like the rest of the game, these last few minutes, Brad.
It sure is, as it comes out to Edwards. Atchison, that's Cooper. Tries to clear the pack. Wood is in and under. Mitch McLean dives over the top. Another bounce down, centre half forward position for the Sunbury side. 12 minutes gone, third quarter, and they enjoy a 3-point lead. Sunbury. Kicked off the ground by Waterbury towards the boundary. Coming in again was Sutton. Gee, he's been good. And then Toman will take that out over the boundary line. And the Redan side kicked the first goal with Lockie George early in that first quarter, and they haven't kicked one since. 13-minute mark gone into the third quarter.
They also kicked the first 10 points of the game as well. 11 points, actually. I think it was 11-0 at one stage.
So the first 5 behind, yeah. 1-5. So were they 1-5 before?
I believe they were, yeah.
Yeah, spot on, they were too. As another stoppage will take place on the outer half forward flank for Sunbury.
Part of me is also thinking that this is by design as well, Brad. I think the two coaches just want to keep it as close as possible and maybe try and open things up as the game goes on, because even though it is tough to score, you see the other matches across the region and there's still, at least 4 or 5 goals kicked by each side.
Yeah. As Riley Miller is tackled to the ground. Another stoppage.
And as we spoke about before the game, Brad, I don't think either coach cares how much they win by or how they win. Winning ugly is still winning.
Oh, especially today. It's a spot in the 6 as a hurried kick forward from Redan. Goes into the middle of the ground. Goda was held by the jumper by Jess, not paid. Now, it's Chris G and Polo with Nathan Wood on the bottom of that. And we'll have another bounce down in between the centre and centre-half forward for the Redan side. Tap forward by Madden. Sutton's there. Craig Peters is there. Comes out to Atchison. That's Cooper. Craig Peters in and under again. Coming forward. Now it comes out to Jenkins. Jenkins onto the right leg. Gets him inside 50. Goes over the head of Bell. Grant's back there. And taken out over the boundary line there by Mundy.
Jenkins has been good for Redan.
Yes.
Liked his work across half-back.
He's had a fair bit of it, hasn't he? Boundary throw in the left forward pocket for Redan. In it comes. Short over the back. Goda's there. Chris Giampolo. Now the ball comes out to Sutton and he's away. You'll get Sunbury outside defensive wing towards the towards the wing, but chopping that off is Madden in front of Mitch McLean. So Madden, centre wing position right in front of the commentary box here for Redan. 15 minutes gone, third quarter. No score in this quarter. Goes towards the boundary line to Lockie George, and that beats him out over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in, left half forward flank for the Redan side. Again, Redan setting up well behind the ball here. Cooper Atchison all on his own, roaming dangerously around the back of this pack. And he might have got a free kick there, Cooper Atchison. He has, kicking in danger. So, what will he do here? He'll go towards Bell, but again, that's going to beat him out over the boundary line.
Just having a look, Mobilio looks like he's gone straight back to Cooper Craig Peters. Brad,
Okay.
wearing him like a glove.
In it comes. Goes forward to ground of Nathan Wood. Harvey's there for Redan. There's Mobilio there. Goes straight to Craig Peters. Just a little bit of jumper grabbing there. There's Nathan Wood again. Underneath the pack has been good. Goda held when not in possession by Short, and he wins the free kick. Inside defensive 50. Goda will go to the outer side towards the wing, towards Lever and Toman. The latter takes the mark. Toman now. High kick up the wing. Chopped over the back was Chris Giampolo. Umpire circling. He's going to pay. You had prior and didn't get rid of it, and that was Craig Peters. Now it'll come into the middle of the ground to Goda. He's played well as well, set up a lot, running off half-back. Luke Goda right in the middle of the ground. 17 minutes gone, third quarter. Umpire asks him to play on now. He runs around Lockie George on the mark, then goes deep into the pocket, but he's kicked it straight to Jack Jess for Redan. And Jess asking players to move to his left. Then he goes short to Madden. Has Jenkins short again if he wants him. Decides to go over to him towards Lamb. Lamb. Take him outside defensive 50. Back to Short. Short has Chris Giampolo on the lead on the wing. He drops the mark under a lot of pressure from Nathan Wood here now. Playing for a free kick, and he's got it. So
Certainly exaggerated the contact, I think, a little bit there, Brad.
he certainly did. He's had a great quarter, Nathan Wood. Goes short. Was that 15 to Luke Goda? Umpire says yes. So Goda, again, with a nice high kick to the dangerous spot. Comes forward, hands out to Waterbury. Finds Jenkins, or was that Thompson? It was Thompson. Goda's there to mop up for Sunbury. Gets away from Murphy. Gets another high kick towards that hot spot. Flying over the back was Lee Brennan. Just caused some carnage as the ball comes to ground out over the back. And we'll have a stoppage as the coach, Jarrett Giampolo, picks himself up off the ground. 25 metres around from the Sunbury goal. Nearly 19 minutes gone, third quarter. Hurried kick forward on the left foot from Ross, but he's missed to the left, and that's a behind. So they'll go to 4-point advantage here. Sunbury, as the ball comes back in from Waterbury to Jenkins. Jenkins now over the head of Goda to Declan Murphy. Gives it off to Jess running past, but he comes back. Now he's got no one really to go to up the line. Goda chops that off. They set up well behind the ball here, Sunbury. Comes out quickly to Guthrie. Werner. Werner with a kick inside 50 wasn't that great. Mitch McLean, gang tackle. He had prior. The umpire says yes. So the free kick will, did he play on and pay the advantage? I think he might have. Jenkins now gives it out to Flynn Atchison with a high kick up towards McLean. Carries over the back. And that's Thompson. And ball was out of bounds before Blake Thompson was able to get his foot to that. So we'll have a boundary throw in centre wing position on the commentary side of the ground. 20 minutes gone, third quarter. Sunbury enjoy a 4-point lead in a very low-scoring affair here at City Oval, thanks to Ballarat Toyota for the live stream today. As Thompson wins it, has a player on the outside, and George ignores him, goes with a hurried right foot leg towards a goal. But just mopping that up was Featon. Featon then looks for Lever on the exit kick in front of Giampolo. Overruns the ball. Featon comes in and dives underneath. Now, he's dived on that. He could be in trouble here if it doesn't come out. The umpire says no, as Chris Giampolo had the ball in his hands. And we'll have a bounce down, 50 out from the Redan goal. Nearly got that through. Kyle, Blake Thompson with a long right leg.
Yeah, great defensive effort there, just not even a behind in the end, which at the moment, every point is crucial. It's almost a soccer scoreline, high-scoring soccer game,
yes. But Sunbury's defenders have been really good because they have had the majority of inside 50s as Redan, but players like Featon.
I think, though, Brad, we've spoken about, it's sort of they're just pushing that many numbers back that they should be winning the ball in their defensive 50, but then, of course, they're struggling around the contest because Redan have got more players around the footy.
It's Chris Giampolo comes into George, and George takes the mark. Yeah, I've liked the three defenders in Featon, Goda and Lever today. I thought have been very good up back so far. And as I say that, George takes a mark inside 50, but they kicked the first goal, and it was this man of the game, and they've held them goalless since. As Lockie George comes in, kicks for goal, and he's got it. He's got his second, and that is Redan's second. Lockie George got their first one in the first quarter, and he's got their second in the third. And now they go back in front by 2 points, the Sunbury side. That's 2-5-17 Redan. And Sunbury 2-3-15 thanks to Ballarat Toyota.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
He's being relatively quiet today, George, but he's kicked 2 goals in what's a low-scoring game. So he's kicked their only 2 goals. So he's been still adding to the Redan side when going up forward.
So dangerous as Madden and Dirksen do battle in the middle. Gee, I thought Lockie McLean was held and he didn't get the free kick. He let him know, or he has in the end. So Lockie McLean will drive them into attack. That's a great kick. Just carries over Grant. Nathan Woods there for the Sunbury side. He knocks it out. Comes back in towards Thompson. Flicks it out towards Lamb. Lamb has the ball knocked out of his hands. And then the ball goes out over the boundary line, right on the 50-metre mark from the Redan goal. The boundary throw in. So we've now gone 23 and a half minutes, 2-point ball game. Redan leads. Comes out the back. Jess is there. Umpire blows the whistle, pulls a free kick out of this. It'll go to Nathan Wood of Sunbury, who's enjoyed a good game. It's another one of the defenders that I think has been very good for Sunbury, particularly this quarter, but whole game he's been good. He quickly plays on the left foot, up towards the wing looking for Short. but knocked away from him by the big fella there in Lee Brennan. Now it's inside 50 for Redan again, but Lamb can't control it. Oh, fresh air shot. Flicked out towards Chris Giampola. Quickly gets his hands off to Atchison. Atchison on the non-preferred right. Levers there. Can't take it. Comes out the front to Bond. Bond with a right foot snap at goal and misses to the left. So that'll give them a 3-point buffer now, late in the third quarter. And we are all set for a big last quarter and a very low scoring affair where the sides have kicked 2 goals each as Featon brings the ball back into play with a high, long kick. Punched out over the back. I think that might have been Guthrie that got his hands to that as Jarrett Giampolo flicks it out the back looking for Jenkins, but it goes out over the boundary line. With a boundary throw in centre wing position, outer side of the ground. Don't forget at 3-quarter time we will have all the scores from around the grounds. The big games everywhere today. Back into play. Comes forward, Fitzgibbon. Quick kick off the ground. And it beats Declan Murphy out over the boundary line. Inside their front 50 now, Redan. That's where you want the ball, particularly at the time on period of the third quarter when you hold a very narrow lead of 3 points. A lot of players around this. Knock forward. Looks like, was it Lamb taking that? It was, and he's given away a free kick for Redan, and it'll go to the Sunbury side. High kick now towards the wing position. Muir's there. Oh, coming over the back, taking a good mark was Madden for Redan. Timely mark. And where will he go? Will he just try to see this quarter out and go long down the line? He does. Grant's there. Coming over the back was Lamb. Flicked out over the boundary line. We'll have another boundary throw in just inside the 50-metre arc for the Redan side.
It's got the feeling of a heavyweight boxers fight, Brad. We're just about to finish round 11, just a bit of sparring, and then hopefully someone lands the knockout blow in the last quarter because, just looking for something to try and spark this game. I really think that both sides just are trying so hard not to lose this game.
As now they're away Sunbury towards Goodson. Ball comes to the outside, back to Madden in front of Mitch McLean. Gets a right foot kick around the body. Edwards is there, flicks it out the back. Oh, they're playing around with it. Ross wins it. Uses the right foot check side to keep it into play. But again, it's Madden taking a mark on the outer side. He's stopped 3 forays forward now. Right on the 3-quarter time siren here at City Oval. Redan 2-6-18. Leads Sunbury 2-3-15 at 3-quarter time in a low-scoring affair, and we are in for a very big last quarter here at City Oval. And we will take a quick break. When we come back from the break, we'll have all the scores from around all the big games. Thanks to Ballarat Toyota. 3-quarter time at City Oval. Redan 2-6-18 leads Sunbury 2-3-15.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but there's another big bank snapping at their heels. With 1.9 million customers, it's regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
Welcome back to City Oval here in Ballarat for the Ballarat Toyota live stream match of the day in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. And at three-quarter time, Redan hold a slender 2-point lead, 2-6-18. Redan to Sunbury 2-3-16. And a big last quarter coming up out here at City Oval. In around the ground scores at three-quarter time, Lake Windaree 7-7-49, lead Darley 3-4-22, Melton 5-8-38, lead Ballarat 2-7-19, Bacchus Smash 8-5-53, lead Sebastopol 6-5-41, and North Ballarat have put on a clinic in the third quarter. Melton South 6-6-42, trail North Ballarat 12-9-81. They've kicked 7-2 in the third quarter, the City, and as I've said time and time again, their last quarters are their best quarters. So look out, Melton South, if they are on song again in the last quarter. So, but we've got the close one here, Kyle.
Very close, Brad. We were just talking off air. It has been such an arm wrestle, this game. We're still no closer to finding out who is going to win this game.
It's incredible, isn't it? And it's going to be so hard to do the votes at the end of the day because of the contest after contest style of game that it's been.
I think Lever has certainly been the standout from both sides.
Yep. And the real commitment by both sides have been fantastic, as I think George, again, wins a centre clearance. McLean taps that out over the back of his head. Craig Peters has started in the pocket and Mobilio's gone to him as opposed to in the midfield. So that's a move that's interesting that Jarrett Giampolo has swung as Sunbury hold the ball in between wing and half back, and it's Toman who's been okay today. Kicks up, great mark towards the outer wing.
He's been good today, Brennan. He hasn't had a heap of the footy, but he's presented well, brought the ball to ground. That's all you can ask for a key forward on a day like today.
Goes forward. That's one forward by Jenkins. Comes out now. It looks like Bond, but the boundary line has beaten him as he received the handball from Giampolo.
Just with Craig Peters going to the full forward line, Brad, I think you wouldn't mind that matchup if you were Dan, taking a midfielder to the goal square. So we'll see how that one pans out.
As comes forward from the big fella in Muir for Sunbury, a secondary stoppage will take place. Just outside the forward 50 for Sunbury, as that's won by Madden. Comes out to Thompson on the left foot, been quite good today as well. Has that just been bounced inside play? It has. No, it's out on the full. Quickly, Featon brings the ball back into play inside 50. Goes over the head of Dirksen. Jenkins is there. Quickly picked up by Lee Brennan. High kick. But that's going to go out on the full. Right forward pocket for the Sunbury side. Redan will bring that back into play.
Got an opportunity now, Sunbury, to just lock that ball inside their forward 50 and try and put some scoreboard pressure on. I know it sounds silly with the score being so low at this stage, but hopefully they can try and open it up in this last quarter. Lockie
George, deep inside defence for the Redan side, gets them out of the defensive 50, but it's going to come back and it's going to be through the agency of Miller. Goes inside 50, Sutton flies with two Redan players. Jess to Flynn Atchison, gets a high ball out towards the wing. Comes out the back now, right leg forward. Lever is there for Sunbury. Looks like he might have been switched forward right now as Cooper Atchison has his kick chopped off. Ross screaming for the ball in the middle. Still screaming. Bygate bypasses him and goes up towards the half-forward line, and it'll be taken out over the boundary line by Britt.
Don't mind that move of putting Lever forward, Brad, providing a target. He's been fantastic in defence all day, but at the end of the day, he's still got to try and win the game of footy, so he might just be the point of difference they need in this last quarter.
I totally agree. I think it's just the thing that I was saying earlier about Travis Hodgson as a coach. He's not sitting back waiting for this game to happen. He's going to try to make a move that's going to win it for him, and it could be the master stroke. Time will tell as Chris Giampolo for Redan brings the ball outside. Defensive 50. Ross is there, collected by his own man in Guthrie. Then they dive on top of him. And it was Lockie George on Ross. And we'll have a ball up right in front of the Sunbury coach's box. Outer wing, tapped out by Muir. Hurried kick forward by that man in Lever. Goes forward. Just can't pick up the ball. Was the big fella there in Dirksen, but he's paid a free kick. Now they'll go inside. Coming out and meeting, that was Britt, as Kyle said, has been good today. Goes out towards Flynn Atchison, beats him out over the boundary line.
That was experience there. Sutton was just waiting back, trying to edge Britt under the ball, and Britt just attacked it, and experienced head prevails.
So they've had continuous inside 50s has Sunbury. And if you continue to go to the well, things can happen as Craig Peters is tackled high. Takes the free kick. Goes short with a beautiful kick to Bell. Centre wing position out of side of the ground. Bell now goes up towards half forward. Gee, that's a good mark by Grant or Bond. Goes forward with a high kick. Lamb's there. Picked up by Hannett though. Gets the right leg outside defensive 50, but that'll come back because Bell has taken the mark in front of Guthrie. Goes with a kick inside 50. Lever's worked himself back there.
He might actually be playing on ball. Brady seems to be around the contest a fair bit, so we'll keep an eye on that one.
We'll have another stoppage inside the 50. It's for the Redan side. They hold a 3-point lead, 5.5 gone in the last quarter as Lamb flicks that ball out to Atchison. And sling tackle, the umpire says. Atchison will take the free kick. That was Riley Miller laying the tackle. Goes inside quickly. Comes out now with a hurried right foot kick by Bell. Round the body, and he's got it. Bell gets his first for the day. And a very important goal that it is for the Redan side because it makes it really difficult and it takes Redan on to 3-6-24, Sunbury 2-3-15, 6 minutes gone, last quarter on your Ballarat Toyota scoreboard.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
He's been quiet today, Bell, but his last few minutes have been fantastic, and it just shows that never, keep trying, never give up. Might not be your day, but it could be your moment. And I'm declaring that Redan have got this now. I can't see Sunbury kicking 2 goals to win with 2 goals to the entire game to this point.
All wrapped up out of half forward flank for the Sunbury side. Yeah, Sunbury had repeat inside 50s and then goes up the other end of the ground. Redan go in the once and they score from it. And on a day like this, as you say, low scoring, very, very important that you put them on the board. So they hold a 9-point lead in the last quarter, 7 minutes.
If you're Redan now, Brad, do you try and hold on and think that 9 points in a low-scoring game is enough, or do you try and get one more?
Yeah, I would definitely be trying to get another one as Chris Giampolo's wrapped up. Yeah, it's it's such a low-scoring game. If you went and kicked another one now, that'd just about shut the gate, wouldn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
As McLean, Lockie, comes out with a handball looking for George. The umpire might have pulled a free kick to Nathan Wood out of this, and he has, on the far wing, as Toman comes off for a spell for Edwards.
Hasn't had as much as an impact in the second half, Edwards, as what he did early in the game. He was in every contest early, but just sort of died off a little bit as the game's worn on.
Wood had a lot of the ball today. Goes inside 50 for Sunbury. There's Edwards there. Might have been taken high. Not paid. Quickly comes out to Goda. He has the ball taken out of his hands by Harvey. Then he's set upon, and we'll have a bounce down inside the 50-metre area for Sunbury. I'm just looking for Tyson Lever and where he is now.
Is it a kick behind play, maybe? Just looking for the long sleeve.
There he is. He's
There
in
he is.
amongst the ball as the ball's flicked out to Jenkins. Jenkins has Lockie George, who has his kick smothered beautifully by the young boy, and I thought he's been quite good today, is Riley Miller for Sunbury.
They just have to score here, Sunbury. Got the ball, lock it inside 50. They just have to get that scoreboard pressure and get that goal back as quick as possible for any chance in this game.
Lee Brennan will do battle with Madden. Goes forward. Another stoppage.
I'm just looking around as well, Brad, and I reckon that Sunbury's now decided man on man. I can't see any loose players, which probably is a sign of trying to win the game now.
Tapped away. Then a kick off the ground from Ross. Goes straight to Jess. He's tackled. Umpire will bounce this down again. So the ball's locked up in the front 50 for Sunbury. They, as you said, Kyle, they do need to score here to get the game back in under a goal deficit as Edwards gets a hurry kick out of that stoppage. Coming out was Goda, who's been moved forward as well for Sunbury. Kicked off the ground by Mitch McLean. Finds the boundary line in front of Bell, the last man to kick a goal in this game. George has 2 and Bell 1 for Redan and for the Sunbury side. Singles to Sutton and Mobilio. In it comes. Hurry kick out. Ends up in the hands of Sutton. Gets a quick handball to Mitch McLean. Has a snap-on goal and misses to the right. So that's a behind to the Sunbury side. Gets them back in with an 8 points now. Comes in towards Britt. Britt now takes him outside, defensive 50. Christian Polo slides in, gives the ball off to Waterbury. Has a boy in Murphy all on his own here. Has an open goal mouth. Leads out and takes a mark as Lamb. Lamb quickly plays on. Goes onto the left foot and finds the teammate in Bell. And Bell will kick from 20 metres out on a slight angle. That's not a problem, but this would put it beyond Sunbury, I would say.
Gee, I reckon Trav Hodgson would be really disappointed there. Their defensive system just completely fell away there.
Bell comes in for his second of the quarter and his second of the day, and he gets it, and that might make it very, very difficult for the Sunbury side now, as Grant Bell has probably, and I know it's only 14 points, but we've gone 11 and a half minutes in a very low scoring game. That's Redan 4-6-30. They lead Sunbury 2-4-16. 11 and a half gone last quarter on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
The beating drums over
I was
here in the background.
Going to say the band's going on.
Back in the middle. Quick kick off the ground forward for the Redan side. Murphy comes out, taps it on into the hands of McLean. McLean with a kick forward looking for that man again, Bell, who just toe pokes that towards the boundary line, and we haven't seen a deliberate paid all day, so I wouldn't appeal for it now as Mundy did then.
Tell you what, Bell had a very quiet first 3 quarters. He's almost in vote calculation with this last quarter. He's been fantastic, not just with his 2 goals, but he's presented well and just been an opportunistic forward.
A multiple goal kicker today. You're doing real well. And they have 2 of them, and that's one of them, George, who gives it out to Lamb with a left foot kick forward. I thought it was going to be Murphy to take that, but it's ended up going over the back, and Craig Peters read it better than everyone. And he's taken the mark, playing as a permanent forward pocket in this last quarter. And Cooper Craig Peters will shoot for goal now. That will definitely put it beyond doubt. 20 points is too much to come back from 13 minutes last quarter in such a low-scoring game. And he's hit the post. So 15 points in arrears is Sunbury. Bring it back into Wood.
I still think it's out of reach, but that would have put it beyond doubt. So there's still the door's ajar for Sunbury if they can get the ball rolling.
Wood brings them outside, defensive 50. Looks for Bygate. But the mark's been taken by Murphy. And they're all screaming for him to have a shot, and he's 70 out. So they know something that I don't. He's gone short, looking for that man Bell. Has it punched away from him?
Thought he might have got an arm chop there as well.
Yeah, I've seen less paid. And Grant just couldn't take that, and it's gone out over the boundary line. So we'll have a boundary throw in. 35 around from the Redan goal. Comes forward. Toman's there. He's wrapped up by Bond. Secondary stoppage. Same spot. But it'll be the field umpire. Throw it into the air. Oh, smartly done by George with the back fist out the back. But quickly in over that is Mundy. That's not coming out. We'll have another stoppage. George again just pushes Dirksen out underneath it. He's had a couple of opportunities there. Has Toman. Ends up back with him. Gives it off to Edwards, but really not a great handball. Atchison's there to lay the tackle. Comes back to Toman. High kick out towards outside their defensive 50. But Matthews is there to mark for Redan and send them back inside the front zone. As a high kick. Oh, Lamb has just jumped all over Grant, his own man. And ball comes off hands, out of bounds. Right in front of the McDonald's Ballarat sign there in the left forward pocket for Redan. 15 points in front. 15 minutes gone. George, again, comes out. Oh, quickly tackled was Grant. Didn't get his kick away, and free kick has been won to the Sunbury side. They transfer play out to Bygate. Right back pocket for Sunbury. Just kicks up the line now to looking for Goodson. Jenkins holds the front spot, comes out the back to Craig Peters. Able to keep the ball in play was Cooper Atchison. Gives it back to Chris Giampolo. Giampolo with a high kick towards the pocket. Bygate just backs back, takes a mark for the Sunbury side. Short did that go the required distance? It has. To Featon in front of McLean. He's called play on, and it's Bygate that's just strolled off there and got a high kick outside defensive 50. It's punched back inside. Quick hands towards Murphy. Murphy has an opportunity on the right foot snap, but misses to the left.
Well, they've now got to kick more than their entire score to date to win this, Brad, and Redan have just locked it in their forward 50 the past 5 minutes.
As Chris Giampolo drops that, comes out to Jenkins. Jenkins, hurry kick inside 50, and Cooper Craig Peters is going to get another opportunity to have a shot at goal after missing that last one hitting the post. It's a little bit to go on down in the goal square there with Lockie McLean and Dylan Featon.
He's come to life this last quarter, as good players do when they need to stand up, Brad.
In he comes. Cooper Craig Peters has missed everything here left. It won't even make the distance. And taking a good mark in front is Tyson Lever. In front of Declan Murphy. Quickly plays on as the umpire falls over. The crowd love that when that happens. Lowers some eyes and finds Lee Brennan. Lee Brennan now, short again, still inside defensive 50. Umpire says play on, didn't go the required distance as Hannett brings it out and finds Sutton. Sutton now with another kick further up the wing to Ross. Out of wing position. They come back inboard. Hannett's backed up quite well there, running up the ground. Takes the mark. Now plays on around Flynn Atchison. Gets it inside, 50 looking for Goda.
Gee, I thought he was stiff not to get a free kick there, Goda.
George to Lockie McLean. McLean goes for the big spiral outside. Looking for Jess. Ends up in the hands of Thompson. Might have been taken high, not paid. Umpire said incorrect disposal. against Blake Thompson. So Sunbury have an opportunity again to bring it back inside 50. They go short to Featon. Dylan Featon has Sutton square if he wants him. Ignores him. He's going to go long. Goes with a high ball inside 50, but it's all Redan. And Madden has taken a few marks inside defensive 50 today. Goes out to Jenkins to Waterbury. Waterbury with a kick outside defensive 50. Lever reads that, gets his fist to it, but Bell is able to mop it up. Back to the boy in Jenkins. Forward, comes off the hands of Craig Peters to Bond. Bond with a high kick inside 50, but Featon has pushed himself back and able to mop that up. Goes into the middle of the ground to Sutton. Sutton now. He's going to go wide towards the wing. Towards Mitch McLean. Edwards mops it up after he drops that. Mark Dirksen, hurried kick forward. Chopped off. Now it comes out to Chris Giampolo, who quickly on the left foot goes to the outer side to Jess. Jess in between, just on the half-back flank, outer side of the ground. Kicks it up towards the wing. Oh, Nathan Wood flying high from behind. Just couldn't hold on. Ball comes forward. Lamb gets a kick that's smothered. And Nathan Wood dives in underneath it, but the ball goes out over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw-in, centre wing position outer side of the ground. And they are 16 points in front, nearly 20 minutes gone in the last quarter. Redan here at City Oval have all the scores from around the grounds in the Carlton Draft final wrap-up of the day. Post-game summary as we have another stoppage. There's been some big games around the grounds today, and probably the closest one, apart from this one, has been Bacchus Marsh and Sebastopol. Bacchus Marsh were 12 points up at three-quarter time.
Which, like this game, will play a big part in how the final six looks at the end of the round, Brad.
Yes. Yeah, there's 2 plays 5 today, 6 plays 4, and here 7 plays 8. And for the loser here, makes it really difficult in the travel home in a shortened season, remember, because of the 2-week COVID break that we took. As we have another stoppage out of wing position. So that's, it's going to be interesting, and we'll go through next week's games later, and there's some big games. Probably none more than Sebastopol and Ballarat out at Marty Bush next week. With the results going the way they look like going today, that's going to be a big one as well. As the ball goes out over the line in front of Cooper Craig Peters. And another big one, apart from that one, will be Sunbury North Ballarat as well. So some big games again, week in, week out in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. And thanks to Ballarat Toyota, we'll be bringing you a live stream game again next week as Chris Giampolo does battle at ground level.
What's the fixture looking like next week, Brad? Which match do you reckon we're going to be?
I would be surprised if we're not doing the Sebastopol Ballarat game.
Yep, that's
considering the way the ladder's going to be at the end of today. Other games, Redan, Darley, Sunbury North Ballarat, Melton Lake Windaree, Melton South and East Point and Bacchus Marsh have the bye. So I would think Sebastopol and Ballarat would be the one. We haven't called out at Marty Bush this year. I don't get a vote on it. I go where I'm told. I'm just saying that I reckon that might be the one. As the ball comes over the back, Edwards is there for Sunbury, flicks it out. Bond for Redan, gets him inside 50. He's nearly my best player, this boy. With lever is Nathan Wood. I reckon he's been brilliant for Sunbury. Goes over the hands of Harvey. Jarrett Giampolo gets a hurried right leg to the ball. Fitzgibbons there, but taking it out over the line is Featon for Sunbury.
I've really liked Jenkins' game for Redan.
Yep.
I've loved the last quarter of Bell. I think he's almost been the difference in this last quarter. Lever, again, he might just be best on ground in a losing side, but for 3/4 of this game, it's been neck and neck the whole way.
Yeah, it's been a hard game to get best players because it's been contested footy, and I might say that Lockie George has played better games, but I still reckon he's been very good in the end. He's kicked 2 as the ball gets kicked forward, but it's Waterbury that just toe pokes that back to Britt, then he handballs it back to Waterbury. You go up the line to Fitzgibbon, who goes through his hands in the end, and Hannett is able to mop that up for Sunbury with quick hands out to Toman, who goes inboard looking for Ross. Doesn't get to him. Fitzgibbon ends up with it with a left foot now out to Thompson. Thompson's going to go inside 50 on the left, and he's put the game out of the reach. Blake Thompson. What a great goal for his first for the day, and has just put a sleeper hold on the game now for the Redan side.
Gee, you really had the afterburners on there, Brad. Fantastic little bit of play.
Redan 5-8-38, Sunbury 2-4-16, 24 minutes gone. Ballarat Toyota scoreboard.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, great follow-up by Fitzgibbon as well. I think a few of his reserves teammates were giving him a bit of flack for the missed mark, but he chased down and followed up and made amends for his mistake.
Madden wins the tap, but it's a hurried kick forward from Hannett of Sunbury. Goes towards the half-forward line. Jarrett Giampolo's taken high, and that was against Power. And Giampolo will take the free kick. Yeah, they kicked the first goal of the day, then they went quiet for a while.
Well, they didn't kick a goal for 2 quarters, Brad.
Sunbury kicked the next 2, and then Redan's kicked the next 4. So it's been a funny game in that way as Harvey takes the mark out of wing position. They've closed off in this last quarter, haven't they, with 3 goals in the last quarter, which is high scoring considering in a quarter of footy, as Thompson, who kicked that last goal.
Well, percentage is going to be everything at the end of the year, Brad, and keeping a team to only 16 points can only do your percentage good.
Nathan Wood brings the ball in the middle, but Fitzgibbon fists it forward to George. George goes forward looking for Bell, chopped off by feet and comes out to Nathan Wood, who's wrapped up by Bell. And again, we'll have a bounce down stoppage, 40 around from the Redan goal. 25 and a half goes as the bongo drums hit fever pitch here, as taken out by Dirksen. Kick hasn't gone the required distance to Guthrie. Umpire says he had no prior. I'll bounce that down on the 50-metre arc.
It feels like we're at a cricket game in Delhi, Brad, or in the West Indies in the Caribbean.
It certainly does. A bit of Jamaica rum probably wouldn't go astray in these cold conditions, as Craig Peters gets a hurried kick forward for Redan. Tapped out towards Bell. Quick hands out back to Craig Peters. Tackled, but able to get his handball away. Lever. Hands out to the outside. Crowd asks for a free kick of holding the ball for Craig Peters against Jacob Bygate, but the umpire's having nothing of it.
Nearly set up another goal there, Bell. Really, really impressed with his last term.
Tapped down by Dirksen. And we'll get a secondary stoppage as Lever is tackled to the ground by Lamb. So they finished off well here, Redan, to get this game done and dusted, as Mitch McLean bursts through for Sunbury, knocks the ball forward.
Which, am I right in saying that they've blown teams away early, but then died off a little bit in the second half, Redan, so they've been able to capitalise in the last quarter?
Yeah, a little bit different today, isn't it, from their normal, as Sutton brings the ball out of the defensive 50, and a lovely mark the outer side by the big fella in Brennan. Lee Brennan for Sunbury now on the halfback flank. Oh, goes through the hands of Waterbury. Goodson mops it up, handballs off. They go back inside 50 now. Sunbury tap back into play there by Ben Guthrie was good. And then a right foot snapper goal, and that's it. It's all over in the end. And Redan have won a very important game out here at City Oval that Sunbury will be a little bit disappointed that they didn't score a goal after half time. after getting back into the game just before half-time. They were unable to kick a goal in the second half, and whilst Redan kicked 4 and they got 3 in that last quarter, the all-important last quarter. So Redan, 5-8-38, have run out 22-point winners. A big deficit in the scheme of things in the end. Over Sunbury, 2-4-16 in an incredible game of cat and mouse most of the day. It was tight contested footy all throughout the afternoon. So they've run out winners in the end, Redan, and what that says for the rest of the season is going to be very interesting. We might take a quick break, get some around-the-ground final scores for you, and then come back with the final Carlton draft post-game summary out here at City Oval, and where it has seen Redan run out winners 5-8-38 to Sunbury 2-4-16. All thanks to Ballarat Toyota. We'll be back shortly.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but there's another big bank snapping at their heels. With 1.9 million customers, it's regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
After a long, hard day, nothing beats a long, cold brewery fresh Carlton draft.
Pour it long, pour it cold, pour it Carlton, pour it gold. The real taste of real draft beer. Pour it long, pour it cold, pour it Carlton.
Celebrate.
Welcome back to City Oval here in Ballarat, where we have seen Redan 5-8-38 run out 22-point winners over Sunbury 2-4-16 in the Ballarat Toyota live stream match of the day. And it means a lot for both sides today, as we said in the pre-game. So it's going to be interesting to see how the ladder shapes up. In other games today, Lake Windaree 10-8-68. Darley 5-5-35, Melton 7-9-51, Ballarat 6-8-44, Bacchus Smash 8-7-55, Sebastopol 7-7-49, Melton South 7-7-49, and again North Ballarat putting on an incredible last quarter, a whole second half, where they just run away from sides in that last quarter, North Ballarat, 18-12, 120. So they piled on 13-5 in the second half, North Ballarat. Another 6-3 in the last quarter. They are the second half specialists, aren't they, the City? So, and the game here, obviously, as we said, 5-8-38 Redan to Sunbury 2-4-16. What does that mean to the ladder, Kyle?
Again,
it means, yes, I'll tell you what it means. It means that I think on percentage with Bacchus Smash beating Sebastopol, that keeps them in there. Ballarat only lost by 7 points. They probably will, well, they will stay in there because they had 17% on Redan. So they'll be safe. East Point have the bye. They were safe with percentage. So the top 6 won't change. Even though Redan won, they won't get in because of percentage. But they keep alive. That's the thing. The big one here is Bacchus Smash over Sebastopol. That's if that's a final score. Because that jumps them above Sebastopol, and all of a sudden you will see Bacchus Smash go to 3rd position.
I can't keep up with it, Brad. I'm looking at the ladder that you've got in front of you there, and it just hurts my head trying to work out who's going to go where. It's just such a tight, even competition. You'd be kicking yourself, Sebastopol, with all those players out. Would have thought there was the opportunity to potentially upset Bacchus Marsh at home. Away to Bacchus Marsh. But yeah, as we see again, as we look forward to a few fixtures next week, Sunbury, another massive game for them. It feels like every week is an 8-point game, but they play ladder leaders. But as we've seen, with Trav Hodgson, it's almost the master of Brendan McCartney versus the apprentice in Trav Hodgson going head to head next week, and then Melton Lake Windorees, another big game. Sebastopol Ballarat, which we potentially might be there. Melton South against East Point. It's just where do you go to for match of the round? It's just great games everywhere. Even Redan Darley, we say every week, Darley are the best north side going around. I think they're a very good side, and you still have to be on your best to beat them.
You certainly do, and it's the repercussions of the next few weeks. In a shortened season, let's remember, 2 games short because of the COVID break. It makes it an interesting finish to this season. So it's going to be a big week next weekend again, so we'll know during the week who will be out at. I would be surprised if we're not out at Marty Bush doing the Sebastopol Ballarat game, because those sides, it's both sitting inside that top 6, and again meaning a lot for the winner of that side. So it's going to be interesting. 3-2-1 today in a very, very difficult game to call actually for BOGs, because it was such a tight, contested game in the end. I'll let you go first, Kyle, and your 3-2-1 today.
I've given my 1 vote to a snuck in that last quarter, Grant Bell. I think he had a fantastic last quarter in a low-scoring game to be able to bang on 2 goals and really came to life in that last quarter. I reckon he would have had 7 or 8 possessions. Probably didn't even have that many up to 3/4 time. So my 1 goes to Bell. 2 votes I've gone to Zach Jenkins. I think he was the best player for Redan today. I loved his work across half-back. He was reliable, good ball use, and got plenty of it. And my 3 votes, which I said a few times throughout the call, I think 3 in a losing side goes to Tyson Lever. I just think that his work, particularly in the first 3 quarters of the match, without Lever, where does Sunbury go with the amount of ball that was going inside 50 in the first half?
Yeah, it was, as I said, it was very, very hard to do votes. And my first apology is to Nathan Wood of Sunbury. I didn't get him in the 3, and I just thought he was super up back for Sunbury, as was guys like Featon as well, and Goda, and there were some good players for Sunbury, and there were some very good players for Redan as well. I thought young Flynn Atchison was very good for the Redan side, got a lot of the ball. Tom Lamb was good. Will Madden was very good, took a lot of marks, and was very, very good for them as well. And Bell, that you said as well. I've ended up going 1 vote, Lockie George. I just thought whether he was in the middle, whether he was up forward kicking a couple of goals, and he was up back taking a couple of saving marks in a low-scoring game was good. I went 2 votes for Tyson Lever. who, for the Sunbury side, just continually mopped up back, read the play so well and intercept marks all day. And I went 3 votes in the end for Zach Jenkins. I just thought he was very, very good, got a lot of the ball, and not one of the players that you would come to the game thinking, wonder how Zach Jenkins is going to go today. Is he going to be in the top players? But I thought he was really, really good. But as I say, some apologies to some good players out there today. But very hard to give 3-2-1 in footy that was so contested all day. And in the end, Redan win 5-8-38 to Sunbury 2-4-16. And a very, very cold day, Kyle Pover.
Very cold day, Brad. It's looking forward to getting in the car, cranking the heater, and a long drive back to Melbourne.
Yes, well, I'll be staying here in Ballarat. There's a lot of blue sky coming out through there right now, so look forward to it next week. Wherever we'll be, just keep your eyes glued to the Ballarat Football Netball League website and Beyond the Boundary next Friday, as we are every week. And we will let you know where we're calling next week. Thanks to Ballarat Toyota, McDonald's McCafe for our half-time break, Ballarat Sports Medicine for the injury updates. Luckily today, no serious injuries. And Carlton Draft for our post-game summary. Brock Wilson on camera, Kyle Pover in special comments. This is Brad Sinclair. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next weekend.